800-741-GOLD now to register for this 100% free summit. That's 800-741-GOLD.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Custom Colors of Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's friendliest body and paint shop and is the area's only certified BMW shop. Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight have been serving Baton Rouge since 1987. Conveniently located in Industrialplex off Siegen and Airline. Custom Colors Body and Paint.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Monday, August 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 95. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap week 0 of college football and it's LSU game week. We'll talk about the matchup between the Tigers and the Trojans. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what is up, everybody? How about that football this weekend? Sunday. Both this past weekend and this upcoming weekend, that's right, this Sunday, going to go down for your LSU Tigers in Las Vegas. Camps are now over. Preseason in the book for the Saints. Preseason in the books for the Tigers as well. But it all got started this weekend with week 0. And what a week 0. It was a fantastic game over there in Ireland as you had Georgia Tech and Florida State going toe-to-toe. Comes down to a game-winning kick to walk it off. Tech's first top 10 win in a decade as we enter the 2020 forging of college football. The most revolutionary year that we have ever seen in this sport, where everything is being really rebuilt from the ground up. The most unprecedented year we've ever seen in this sport. I cannot fathom a better start than what you saw this week. And the excitement is at an all-time high. I've got about 1 million thoughts on that game. I want to get into LSU. It's going to be a very fun show. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN if you want to be involved. You can also turn us on the TV at WBTR Channel 19. What's up, guys? How was everyone's weekend?
No, it's fantastic watching the game like you did. It was so much fun to see a game that mattered. It was also fun to see Georgia Tech go old school and maul Florida State.
Yeah,
I know we'll get into it, but my God, I mean, they didn't try to hide who they were. And it is amazing to me, and I said it at the time, that Georgia Tech coming off a 7-6 year where they, at the end of the year, had Georgia kind of on the ropes.
It was a good game
in Atlanta.
It
It
was
was a really good
in
game.
Atlanta.
They didn't receive a single top 25 vote in either poll. Not one vote. Others receiving vote, Georgia Tech. And like preseason magazines, you know I love my guy Phil Steele. He had them behind Cal.
I think the problem was it was that defense last year. I mean, they gave up 220 a game on the ground last year. That's why, because like everybody knew Florida State wanted to run the ball because DJU's kind of a game manager, right? So me and Piquel talked about it on Snaps the other day. He was like, I expect Florida State to like run the ball like 60% of the time.
They tried.
Well, from a play calling standpoint, he meant, right? Like, what's Florida State's idea to be? So it felt like on paper that, that matchup, okay.
Yeah, but new coordinator, new players. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But Santucci, they weren't ready for Santucci. Or old boy in the middle, 44. What was his name?
Kyle Efford.
Kyle Efford, yes, dude. My guy looking unhinged out there, filling the hole, getting everybody lined up, just yelling in between plays. I mean, that was the craziest part of the game.
So good.
Was there was nothing fluky. Georgia Tech just beat them up. Just raw, physical football on both sides of the ball. They got after that ass. Same thing that I want to see LSU do against USC. Okay, we'll keep going into the game in a second. Londra Taylor at Weekends. How are we doing today? Doing well? How'd Friday go?
Doing really well. Friday went well as well.
Okay. Well.
I am very, very hyped because Vegas in 3 days.
Yep.
And I'm just excited for football. The Georgia Tech Florida State game was really good.
It was so much fun.
It set
Saturday.
a really, really good precedent for the rest of the football season. I even watched Montana State, Nevada.
Yeah, I ended up.
Yeah, the Montana State New Mexico game was good.
Yeah.
Nevada was the SMU game, and I'm
Nevada
off on
SMU is a little bit of a rock fight.
I'm off SMU. I'm off.
Ooh.
Easy. I mean, easiest Power 4 schedule. You're a 27-point favorite, and that's how you open the season. Rhett Lashley can't handle the expectations, dude. I'm out. Overreaction Monday.
I knew it was in trouble when I turned on the TV and everybody in Reno had on beanies and blankets in the crowd. I was like, uh-oh.
That's crazy.
This is August.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Tay, what's up? How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. I think you pretty much just laid it out. I was not surprised at all by the SMU Nevada game. I'm surprised it was as close as it was, but I talked about it a little bit on Friday when I set in for you guys. You were a 29-point favorite, week 0 on the road. That was way too rich for me. Yeah. I thought there was no way SMU was going to cover that. Really good game, though. I'm sitting there, I have it on, I'm doing my fantasy draft, and I keep looking up, and I'm like, SMU's getting closer. SMU's getting closer. And I'm like, they're gonna pull this thing off.
And then 16 in the fourth.
Yeah, well, and then honestly, Montana State, New Mexico was the best game of the weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed that. They were down 30. Look, they were down 31-17.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good game,
but
FSU
Georgia Tech was
pretty good. In Ireland,
but it was good.
FSU,
it was
Georgia
great.
Tech.
Those were two bigger brands.
King.
None of those games were a 14-point fourth quarter comeback. Montana State was excellent in that game.
Okay. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you. Where's your hat, by the way, and your monkey?
What?
So T-Bob is mad because I am wearing a yellow shirt.
No, I'm not mad.
The audacity.
You're angry, T-Bob.
It's an incredibly yellow shirt.
It's
a
yellow.
Vibrant yellow polo. It is the color of a flag out of a referee's pocket. It's the color of a perfectly ripe banana. I actually like a little brown spots on my banana.
Yeah, I do too.
Fair.
Yeah, I need a couple, a little bit.
Bruising.
They're a little
bruising.
Yeah, they're a little
grit.
Yeah.
Little
They've been through a lot.
Yeah.
They got a story.
No bruises on Taylor.
A
lot of green. A lot of green on that banana.
Yeah, if I were to bite in you would be so sour, dude.
Well,
disgusting.
We know Tay loves a bright polo, though.
He does.
All right, let's dive in. Let's continue to talk week 0. But let's go ahead and get this thing cranked up. Let's get it started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help you take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
All right, look, man, if you need any employment help, go to the True Turnkey Service. The local guys have been at it for over a decade. That is Tiger Labor and Staffing. This is everywhere from industrial work to even clerical work. And if you need employees that same day, Tiger Labor and Staffing has the right people for your job ready to go. So again, guys, whether you are looking for work or looking for someone to complete a job, and this could be long-term, short-term, whatever you need, it's all at Tiger Labor and Staffing. So it's interesting, man. Sometime Friday night, I fell into a big Haynes King Georgia Tech hole. I'd been reading, I don't know if we did it on this show, but recently I've been talking about that recruiting class Keys put together, and then I'm starting to just, get pumped up for the game, and I'm looking at something like, wow, Haynes King led the ACC in touchdown passes last year. And he led almost the country
We
in
talked
picks.
about it here a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we did the whole Brent Pry.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got 10 more rushing touchdowns. He had 10 rushing touchdowns at the top of 27th there. Oh, man, this guy's exciting. And so I'm putting Bobby to bed late Friday night. He stayed up. And the Lakes was like a pack and play. And so I popped open the laptop in front of the pack and play. And we spent about 30, 40 minutes watching Haynes King highlights, Georgia Tech, Georgia highlights, and then Garrett Green, which we can get into that a bit later. But it just you could see the foundation of what you saw come to light on Saturday. Last year was a year in which Georgia Tech was building, and they still are. Like, they got the 4th toughest schedule in the country, okay? Like, they're still going to have their work cut out for them. But you could see all of the potential that came to fruition on Saturday through looking back to last year, because here's what they have. They have a really good head coach, which is kind of where it all starts in college football. Last year, their defense was awful. They make significant changes. In fact, if you're an LSU fan, you could hope that you could see similar results out of your defensive changes as what Georgia Tech just did. They gave up 230 a game last year on the ground. Yeah. Worst in the ACC, one of the worst in the entire country. Look at what they just did Saturday. And they have an alpha at quarterback, right? And those 3 elements are so critical to success. And you saw it. I mean, the difference between Haynes King and DJU Saturday was obvious. DJU is a game manager. Haynes King is a winner. But it's top to bottom. It's Brink Key. It was one of the toughest, most impressive. I would never have fathomed that they would have out-physicaled FSU in the manner that they did. It just completely controlled the game. I mean, are you kidding me? Those drives? Multiple 7-8 minute drives? You're going to talk about sucking the air out of your opponent, just strangling them like you're an anaconda. It was amazing.
Mauling Florida State up front. The Georgia Tech offensive line was finishing every single block. Florida State could do nothing about it. Nothing. They were getting big boyed. They were getting pushed to the ground. A little bit later on, if we have time, there's a couple of plays that I want to show Georgia Tech and like clinic tape on how to block it up, but also how to finish. And it was very impressive. Haynes King was not going to be denied in that game. Jamal Haynes, the running back, outside of the week 0 Heisman pose that he hit.
Yeah,
fantastic.
We were like,
fantastic game by him, running hard. It was really everything Georgia Tech had to do in the game to win the game. Like, they did, like things that had to go their way. The only thing that made me a little nervous for them is when they gave up to 2 4th-down conversions.
Yeah.
You know, when that happens, when you're trying to pull off the upset, it's like, oh man, that's going to be the backbreaker. But they came right back, and it was a game in which they would not be denied.
Well, that's why there's nothing fluky about this win, because Florida State did go on that drive at the end, and they find a way to score. Florida State's other touchdown drive, to remember as well, got extended by a lucky face mask on a 3rd and 7. That was a sack early on.
Pinky got
right?
the corner of the face mask.
It was a great pass rush, excellent move by number 9 there, and then just got a bit unlucky. So it's like, again, but actually, you know who the secret hero of the game is? Everybody talks about the guard from Georgia. What is it, Ratledge? What's his name?
Rutledge.
From Georgia?
Right.
Or is Rutledge? I thought Rutledge was 70.
Rutledge, I don't remember.
So Rutledge is 77 from Georgia Tech, the guy who managed to recover the fumble among 4 FSU defenders, finding a way to land on that ball, kid, showing you that effort matters over everything in the most critical moments. It was I was just so impressed with the way that Georgia Tech also was able to take the opening blow from Florida State, marching right down the field.
Yes. I didn't even get in front of the tee. Like, I was on my way home from something, and I was, getting ready for the game to start. I'm pulling into my driveway. Like, I missed the kickoff. It's like, Florida State, 8-0. I'm like, 8-0?
Yep. Swinging gate.
Yeah, and if you had the first half under, it really hurts, but...
No, I was right. I was right there with you. I think we were like taking the kids tubing or something. And I was like, okay, y'all can stay out here. I got to get back. Yeah. And I was like 10 minutes late. Like, oh. But then what did Georgia Tech do? You saw all that wonderful misdirection, that excellent offense. Where Jake, I love it so much because for a lot of us, the most recent relevant era for Georgia Tech football would have been the Paul Johnson era, right? Yeah. What did they run? The triple option. Georgia Tech's offense is definitely not the triple option, but you do see conceptually how it is kind of like it in that, like where the triple option, the dive is the backbone of everything. The jet sweep is the backbone of everything that this Georgia Tech offense does now. And every play has it, and off of it, you can hand it, you can pull it and run, you can pull it and throw it, you'll build zone reads off the jet sweep. It's just got Florida State looking too many different directions, a dog with too many tennis balls. It spread them out wide and then attacked up the middle. Classic military strategy. And again, it works because you just won the battle on the line of scrimmage. I mean, I know that as the college football hive mind, we thought that Florida State's D-line is still going to be great, even after losing Braden Fisk and Jared Verse, which is a big ask.
Yeah, yes. That, and I heard Pete Thamel talk about it on game day, and a lot of people agree with Pete, so I'm not calling Pete out, but they were like, he said, maybe the best defensive line in America. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. You don't lose 2 Sunday guys and have the best in America. You might be okay there and feel like you can do a lot of the same things, but it definitely showed.
But it was a highly heralded D-line, and they got whooped up on. And it's because the whole time it felt like FSU's defense was just on their heels. Georgia Tech was constantly – and it's funny, if you want to say, why are we talking so much about this? It's supposed to be LSU. Georgia Tech, stylistically, that's how I want LSU to feel. What do we keep talking about? Taking the initiative, dictating to the opponent. A surprising defensive turnaround in which a new coordinator makes a defense look completely different top to bottom. The alpha quarterback, the good head coach. These are all the same themes that we're going to see in this LSU-USC game. And so, yes, I would love for in the same way on Sunday to see LSU dictate to USC in the same way that the Yellow Jackets did.
So if you're an LSU fan, a couple of different things. T-Bob said he wants to see LSU kind of dictate the pace of the game like Georgia Tech did. I agree. And what do we talk about with LSU and their offensive line? Be more creative. What did we show a couple of weeks ago? We showed a gun counter where Caleb Jackson runs right up the middle, hits his head on the goalpost, touchdown, Will Campbell pulling. Georgia Tech ran counter 47% of the time in this game. They ran 36 run plays. 17 of them were counter.
Jeez.
Right? And Florida State's going to see that polar in their nightmares. And then another, if you want to kind of tie this to LSU to give you encouragement for this week, T-Bob talked about how bad they were defensively last year stopping the run. This game so far, 1 game sample size, but it looked much better. They only have 2 new starters on that side of the football, 2 guys through the transfer portal. Now, they got some backups through the portal that played in the game, but as far as like starters, you got 1 edge rusher who came from USC who got the face mask height, and then you've got a corner. Everybody else was there, and it shows you how much scheme can matter to what you do defensively.
Well, and this is something I was looking at. So I was looking at returning production again earlier.
Yep.
And if you were to just look, so LSU's like 60th. I think USC's like 100, which is just something overall that bodes well for LSU. We can get into what returning production, like how to interpret it. But defensively, LSU returns like, what is it, 70? It's in the 70s. It's one of the high, 71%. So, like Georgia Tech, right? All those same guys.
66.5% of their tackles from a year ago.
So
LSU.
And that would be one of the higher numbers in the entire country. LSU 60 overall. That would probably rank like in the 30s, maybe.
It's the 3rd most, like as far as just returning percentage of guys who made tackles last year in the SEC.
Okay.
So I mean, it's high in every aspect that you look at it.
So that is one of the great hopes here, because normally when you return a bunch of players, it's not a metric that tells you if you're going to be good or bad. It tells you a lot of times if you will improve or not. And so, especially after watching what Georgia Tech just did, the chance for some significant, night and day improvement is definitely in the cards for LSU, but you just got to hope that Blake Baker has the belief in the game plan in the same way that Santucci did there on Saturday. All right, I'm going to respect the clock here a bit so we don't go too long. Like I think Thursday we had like a 22-minute opening segment. We'll go to break, continue to talk a little week 0, and then we'll shift into some LSU-USC wrapping up camp. We know the number 18's there, number 7's, all of that. We'll get to it. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You need any outdoor living space, man, outdoor kitchen, a pool, any size or type of fence, bulkheads, pergolas. You want to get some turf put in. If you already have a pool, you need some pool maintenance, either one time or year round. It's all at Pinnacle, guys. You know what they say at Pinnacle? They say, we build the spaces, you build the memories. And honestly, that's what this is about, right? making your home the place that you've always dreamed it could be, the place that you want to be, the place that your kids and their friends and everybody wants to be, so that you can be happy and have fun and build those memories that mean so much more than anything else in this life. Go look at the quality of the work on the website, pecbuilt.com.
I was actually on a walk last night with Harlow, and I noticed like 7 fences in our neighborhood done by Pinnacle. Noticed multiple pools done by Pinnacle. They can truly do it all in your outdoor space, pecbuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB recapping week 0 of the college football season, the kickoff to the college football season. What a fantastic game it was over there in Arlingus Stadium. Can't wait for LSU to be there in a couple of years. Make it happen, guys. Okay, last notes here on that, and then we can move on to talk Tigers. Georgia Tech's uniforms are incredible. My God.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, those whites, burnished gold numbers.
A little reflective.
Yes.
A little chrome to it.
Yes. Yeah, the metallic, I guess, maybe not burnish is the word that I was looking for, that metallic gold on the all whites, and then those Celtic knots for the helmet stripe down the middle. I mean,
and can we say
chef's kiss.
Florida State you don't have a bad uniform, but you ruined yours. It was so much better. Like when, I guess EJ probably would have been around the last class that they had their old uniform.
I have not noticed. I'd have to go back and look.
At some point today, can we pull up what Florida State used to be? Like they used to have just this incredible collar on their uniform, and also like on the sleeve, this incredible design. And now it's like the new age, and it's not bad as far as uniforms go, but it's not a distant cousin to what they used to be. My old man take of the day.
So, I mean, Georgia Tech winning both the aesthetic and physical battle on the field. Real quick, what does this mean for Florida State now? And this is something that we discussed there early on, or not early on, but going into the game was like, what is DJU? Who is DJU? Exactly, Uiagalelei, when you're talking about how good is he? Because it's a mixed bag. He's been the quarterback of some very good teams, even down to Oregon State last year, a 10-win team. But then you go look at the numbers, he only completed 58% of his passes, 21 tuds, 7 picks. And if you look back at that game Saturday,
he had a governor on him.
Well, it's like they open up and Georgia Tech's kind of playing a little too high, a little softer. Florida State marched right on the field, and they were clearly like, okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna challenge him. Like let's start bringing safeties. Let's man up, one high, cover zero, whatever. Let's play a little risky and let's force DJU to make the throws and beat us. And it's kind of clear, Jake. I feel like through his career now that he can't. He's just not that threatening. He's a good game manager. But I think he struggles to elevate teams. And I think we kind of knew that. Like the idea was that Florida State was going to have so much talent around him that he would be fine for them to win the games that they needed to be. But it doesn't feel like Uiagalelei is going to win you games.
No, he's not going to go win you games. He's going to go win you games maybe against Duke, maybe against Charleston Southern, maybe against North Carolina. But, like, when you look at Florida State's schedule after what we just saw, I would be nervous against Boston College. I would be nervous against Memphis. I would be nervous against Clemson, certainly. Like, all these teams at Miami, like, those games look different now.
Yeah.
Because are those teams more talented than Florida State? No, probably not, but neither was Georgia Tech on paper. Boston College has a dynamic quarterback that's in the same vein as Haynes King. Like, he's like a track speed type guy. You don't think that they're installing every way to run counter right now they possibly can? And that's a Monday game, so they get an extra day to prepare and put that in. I mean, I go down their list, T-Bob, and like all those games that we were kind of giving them wins are big question marks. Now, there's probably 4 on their schedule now.
And if you're a Florida State fan, you cannot fathom a more insecure start to the post-snub era. And I would be very concerned. I believe that there are wounds that you can suffer that can ruin a program. To me, LSU losing 21-0 to Alabama in that national championship in 2011 was something that the Les Miles era never recovered from. Remember that following year, you had like 17 guys leave early. You had guys leaving to be UDFAs that had potential to be NFL draft picks. It was a grievous wound. That, look, you tried to keep it going, but eventually you lost the battle, and the Miles era ended. Norvell has sort of been talking about this happened to Florida State last year. What they suffered, that injustice was so great and so deep that has the potential to fester. And this game was so important for symbolically saying that, no, we are still here. And granted, look, it's not totally fair because every team, if you're not, Kirby Smart, Georgia, or Nick Saban, Alabama, every team tends to take a major step back after a huge national championship.
Yeah.
In all sports. We just saw Jay Johnson go through it in baseball and be very upfront about talking about it and how Skip told him that, the toughest thing to do is after you win your first national championship, that next year's team. You've seen at LSU going from Jake winning the championship in 2007 to then 3-5 in the SEC the next year. Like you see it all the time. So it's a bit unfair to Florida State, but now all of those fears and insecurities about are we good enough? Was last year a flash in the pan? Can we do that again? All that rings even louder today after that disappointing loss.
And again, the thing is, it's not going to get easier for them. Like the easy portion of their schedule, once they maybe get it figured out, is later in the year. And they've got a bunch of games that they're going to be expected to win. Again, Boston College, Memphis, Cal, at SMU, and then you get to Clemson on October the 5th. But if they continue to play like they did, there's just I don't know that they can get back in, and I don't want to overreact, but I don't know if they can get back into the ACC conversation. I got to see Clemson play in week 1. That's going to, kind of tell us a story. Virginia Tech, I need to see them play to see how good they're going to be. Certainly Miami, maybe it's going to be the ACC is just going to be down. Maybe they're truly only going to get one team into the college football playoff.
We'll see. And
hell, maybe Georgia Tech's just really good too.
Yeah. I think Georgia Tech's schedule is going to be the toughest part for them trying to accomplish like the great goals as they have. They're right behind, I think, Florida.
Georgia Tech, in theory, can get to October the 19th against Notre Dame undefeated. You want to hear it real quick?
Yeah.
All right. You got Georgia State at home. At Syracuse will be tough. VMI at home. Virginia Military. At Louisville, tough game, but I got to see what Louisville is. Bye week, Duke, North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's not crazy to think that they could get there by any means. They're going to be a
Louisville
favorite.
Feels like the toughest.
They're going to be a
there.
favorite in every one of those games except probably at Louisville.
Now Brent Key, though, has to do something that he hasn't had to do yet up until this point, which is have his team ready to handle the success, right? Because if you're a Georgia Tech football player right now, you're feeling a feeling you've never felt in your Georgia Tech career. You feel on top of the world. You may be reading your own headlines a little bit. And, the Georgia State game is great to recalibrate. But, let's see how they handle success. But, a fantastic week 0. And you know what? Hey. Guess what? You can't spell FSU without the FU, little redhead kid. How does it feel? Now you know. After an off season of getting yourself so excited, so hyped up, desperately, so happy for the season to start again, nervous, but surely we're going to win. We're the better team, right? Right? Wrong. Okay, pretty deflating, isn't it, kid? Huh? Pretty disappointing. Bet you're walking into school today all sad, backpack dragging along the ground. Hope your shoes are untied, maybe even stub your toe or something, because you're so dejected you don't want to lift your feet. I know that feeling, okay, kid? You done it to us 2 years in a row. Well, guess what? Everything that goes around comes around, and karma's a you-know-what. So enjoy it, okay? Because you earned it with your behavior in the Superdome 2 years ago. I still haven't forgotten. I'll never forget. Can't spell FSU without the FU.
What do you think that kid's name is?
I don't know.
What would you guess, though?
Charlie.
I was going to go Oliver.
I do love the kid, to be fair. I actually do. I don't hope you stub your toe. But how does it feel? Because it sucks. And y'all were dancing on our graves the last 2 years as we cried into our cups. And, shoes on the other foot, guys. Or moccasin. All right, when we get back, let's dive into a little LSU. We are now in the post-camp phase. We got our biggest camp takeaways, what you want to see Sunday against USC, what are going to be the keys, all of these things that will be explored throughout the entire week. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstar Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You want to join the All-Star family. Go see them off of Airline and Goodwood today. Incredible football season deals going down right now at the All-Star Toyota National Sales Event. Where you get great deals on your Tundras, your RAV4s, your Siennas, whatever you're into. That's the point, right? Whatever you need, All-Star can provide. Even down to the best service center and body shop around. All makes and models welcome. Free professional estimates. Excellent lines of communication. Go see them today. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com.
Go to the website to buy new, to lease, and yes, to rent. And we tell you every single day because, it's going to be impressive when you go over there to rent a vehicle and everything's available. You're going to be blown away by the selection, something bigger, something smaller, better on gas, whatever it might be. Whatever you're looking for, they are going to fill that need for your trip coming up this fall. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com.
Back to school savings at Bayou Ford. $12,000 off F-150. $12,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And $10,000 off Expedition. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The best-kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB rolling right along here on this Monday. And, all right, let's get into a little LSU. So I'm sure you'll talk about this on Friday. But Josh Williams and Greg Penn going to be wearing number 18. Will Campbell and Harold Perkins going to be wearing numbers 7. Makes a lot of sense. I love this. What a journey for Josh Williams to go from being a walk-on, being here 6 years. You know how long that is, guys. A full, over half a decade of your life committed to this program, upholding the ideals, going through the bad times, having some good times. Very deserving. And Greg Penn as well, man.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Penn has been frustrating on film at times. But again, we have to ask the same question we ask of everybody on this defense, right? And the stuff that we're learning now, like with Omar Spates being the highest graded run defender from week 2 of the NFL preseason, like how much of this was due to the positions that he was put in. But even through all the negative noise, all of the struggles, Greg Penn, what has he done every single day? Just continued to work. Here's what Brian Kelly said about Penn. He kept our defense together last year. We won 10 games last year, and he kept our unit together through some difficult times because he was about LSU football. He was about, when we brought in a transfer at his position, all he did was work harder. He represents all the principles of being a great teammate and a guy you can count on. So it makes it defensive leader, offensive leader. And then when you get to the sevens, and those are guys that are great examples of great college football players, right? I don't know what their NFL potential is or is not, but they're great college football players. Every great college team has guys like that on there. And then you get to Campbell and Perkins, and well, of course they're seven because those are your kind of just talent freaks with the super high ceilings that are otherworldly that you know for sure are going to be really good on Sundays. So solid choices all around for this LSU team.
Yeah, I had a chance. That's why I was not here on Friday. I had a chance to go to practice and, speak to a couple of different guys, but I got a chance to catch up with Greg Penn and Josh Williams. It's always a very cool moment for me to be able to welcome somebody into the club. It's something that, as y'all know, I'm very prideful about. All of us who wore 18 are very prideful. And, we also want to make sure that the guys that they choose are the guys that represent everything that we're about because, that reflects on all of us. It's something that we want to give to somebody that you don't have to worry about. Like the NFL talks about it all the time. If you wore 18, they don't worry about your character. They know they can check that box. And that, again, that means something to all of us. And they were incredible. Both just great young men, both talk to me about what it meant to them to be able to have the number, to wear the number, to be a part of it. And look, I even told Penn, I'm like, hey man, I know you switched to 3, just earlier this off season. So I appreciate you still, giving that number up to wear 18. And so we had a great conversation about that as well. Again, 2 great young men. They get it right like 95% of the time. There's been sometimes maybe that's like, okay, really, I didn't think maybe that name. These are 2 obvious ones, T. These are 2 that I think most LSU fans, if you said, hey, give me one on offense, give me one on defense, those probably would have been the 2.
All right, so Matthew Brune covers LSU for On 3 Bengal Tiger. Does a really good job there, but he's obviously been at every LSU practice, right? We unfortunately can't go because of the timing of the show. And when you look, and this is a camp that Brian Kelly's actually, been very open with the media, way more so than anybody else that I've ever seen in this position in terms of fully open practices, getting to talk to coordinators, all this stuff. What I'm saying is Matthew's covered this team very in depth, and he has 5 2024 camp takeaways that I want to chew on a bit here. His first takeaway, LSU's defensive line is in a much better spot than expected. And he basically goes on to say that, look, the defensive tackles do not feel like the complete liabilities that we painted them to be. And it's not to say that they will be great, but that they are fine, right? And this is something, remember, that Brian Kelly stumped for pretty hard as well. Even to the point where, we're talking about SEC media days, and I just asked very open-ended, like, hey, what's the position group that you're feeling like good about, blah, blah. And he went out of his way to be like, I'm telling you, the D-line is not what you think it is, right? But Brune expands on this, saying, look, the D tackles are fine. The D ends could be a strength. And that does become interesting. Are we guilty of maybe underrating this so much that we're missing maybe one of the hidden strengths of this LSU team when you're talking about Savion Jones, Braden Swinson, Paris Shand, Deshaun Womack, guys that already flashed in a scheme that was not very good last year? Like maybe these DNs are a group that we look up and we say, okay, no, they're not just not a weakness, but like they're actually one of the better parts of this team.
When I went out there on Friday, again, that was probably the position group that I was going to watch, closely throughout the practice, probably with the biggest magnifying glass. And there was, multiple guys. You mentioned Shand, you mentioned Savion Jones. Like they are going to be someone that you feel good about holding point, right? So I don't feel like in the run game, I feel like you've got a couple of really strong edge defenders that are going to be okay. And like they didn't have one-on-ones or anything that day, so I didn't get a chance to see any rush moves or anything. But like you feel good about that. But the question is still going to be on 3rd down, who gets to the quarterback?
Yeah,
because you're going to have your opportunity. All right, they are game planning for number 7. The protection is going to right, wrong, or indifferent. Right, it's going to go to number 7. That's going to free you up they are not going to send extra bodies to whoever that edge defender ends up being. They're going to slide it to 7. They're going to send the offensive line, the might declare to 7. They're not going to put him on a running back. All of those things. Well, what does that do? That opens you up for one-on-one battles.
Yeah.
And you should go out there and be successful in those. That's what you dream of. As an edge rusher, if I don't see a back or if I don't see a tight end to my side or if I don't hear the quarterback call, the mic in which I know I'm going to have 3 offensive linemen for 2 D linemen, man, I got to lick my chops and feast when that happens. And that's going to happen, again, right, wrong, or indifferent. Like sometimes they're going to point out Harold Perkins, number 7, and it's going to be to the detriment of the protection, but they're going to do it because they've been coached all week to do it. Can you go win your individual matchup?
And look, I think Swinson is somebody who already put up great pressure numbers last year. He could be one of those guys. Broome does mention specifically Savion Jones really starting to win a lot of one-on-ones against guys like Emory Jones. So we will see. But yeah, the overall takeaway there I think is a very important one. Then look, the D-line, not saying they're going to be great or the best, but maybe not just this glaring Achilles heel that we thought of throughout this offseason. All right, when we get back, let's go ahead and get to the other 3 camp takeaways. I've got plenty more thoughts on what I want to see out of LSU-USC. We still got to get to the Saints preseason game, number 3. So still got a ton left to chew on for today's show. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to TrashRangersLLC.com. TrashRangersLLC.com is, your waste management experts. If we're talking about residential, you go to TrashSignup.com. If you live in Livingston or Central Parish, they're going to get you right. See your pickup days, prices, all within a matter of minutes. Also, remember, they always text you the night before just to remind you to put out the cans, okay? Because that's the sort of reliability, the sort of customer service, sort of local touch where Trash Ranger separates from these national companies. But it's not just residential. Business owners, you need front-load dumpsters emptied up to 6 days a week. You need roll-off dumpsters for any size project. It's all at TrashRangersLLC.com.
Yeah, go to the website today to find out all the information we've been telling you about over the last couple of weeks and months. Roll-off dumpsters. We're talking to all of Baton Rouge. Doesn't matter where you're at in our listening area, Greater Baton Rouge. They have 3 different sizes for your project at your home or your business. They are going to get it done. TrashRangersLLC.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
I'm looking forward to 50 more.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Off the bench.
Yo, what happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Sorry if I haven't been in chat all day. My computer's dead and we can't find a charger. Very disappointing.
No, I got kind of.
I think I can run
weird
downstairs.
I thought that charges mine sometimes.
No, it normally does. The last few
You
weeks
said it's
been
USB-C?
Yeah, last couple weeks it's been faulty. I don't know why.
I might have one downstairs.
I don't know what got unplugged.
Hunt probably kicking something down here.
Yeah. Freaking Hunt, dude. All right. So, Matthew's first point, the LCD line, and much better probably thought. His second point, the defense should have a clear identity. Now, I thought his write-up here was a bit interesting because he didn't really go into explaining what that identity was schematically. So that remains to be seen. Is this a team that's going to be stronger against the run, stronger in getting after the quarterback? What he more speaks to is how in this camp compared to last, how much more lockstep the players and the staff appear to be. And that generally, if he does get an idea of identity, it's that it'll be a more aggressive, dictating, take the initiative style that Blake Baker ran at Mizzou, that Blake Baker's personality is representative of, and not as read and reactive as what you were trying to do last year.
There was a feel, there was a juice to the practice that I had a chance to go to over the weekend. It ain't the same. Now, again, like we have to see that translate to the field, but I can just tell you the energy levels of the defensive staff compared to when you and I would go to practice last year. I mean, this man, Blake Baker, our guy, wears cleats to practice.
Yeah, Harbaugh does too. I mean, he's one natty.
Does not stop moving, does not stop coaching. Bo Diddley, Bo Davis, multiple times. And the thing that I love about it, it's not just constant. Like, we've all played on teams where the coaches are just constant, like, for no reason. Like, okay, we get it. Clap and cuss, clap. It's not that. But the little things are going to be done right. I forget what it's like, a uniform deal, like a knee brace, and the player didn't have the knee brace on, and they kept taking it on and off between reps, and Bo just let them know that was not going to be how things were going to be done.
Yeah.
Because, like, they weren't ready for a rep and, like, all those little bitty things and not letting stuff like that slide, but also coaching and not just cussing to cuss. Those are things that you were missing, and it seems like, why does that matter? But if you've been a part of a team, it could be high school level, doesn't matter. You know why things like that are important.
All right, number 3 on Matthew's list, summer enrollee freshman living up to the hype. And
I can tell you one that will.
Who's that?
A freshman that will live up to it is Trey Green.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. So he looked
That's
good
the first
when
time
you went
I've
out
got
there.
eyes on him.
Yeah, he a big kid.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Yes. He was running like
5-star.
He was running like, well, walk on Scott 18. He was running whip routes like a receiver. You know what I mean? Like smoothness of it. And he's got a little bit more weight to him, a little bit more girth than I thought he would. Like I just assumed he was going to be just a skinny tight end and a basketball player out there, and I was surprised. Now he's not as big as Pimpton is. I mean, he's a giant, but I was so impressed with the tight end room is super thin. I mean, you got 3 guys. You can't have a major injury, I don't think. But if they stay healthy, it could be the most important group on the team, like outside of, the obvious, the quarterback.
So he starts with Trey Green, obviously, in making this point. Then he goes to Weston Davis, which is a name that we haven't mentioned much here, Jake. Weston, another 5-star guy, tackle. Already on the 2 deep, as a true freshman, which is very tough to do. And when you look at the lineage that LSU is trying to establish on the offensive line, Weston Davis, Tyree Adams, like these are going to be like the next guys up. I was talking this weekend with some friends and they were kind of asking like, what do you think about like next year? You know, once you get into because LSU is going to lose basically their whole line. And I'm like, well, look, there will be a step back because it's kind of like you said with Braden Fisk and Jared Verse. How could there not be? But in the same way, I still feel like good about them being good because of Brad Davis and because of the pipeline that's being established and because of what you're seeing out of young players like Adams and Weston Davis. And then he goes on to mention Caden Dern, Don McKinley, Juwan Johnson, Michael Turner, Kylan Biot, Jelani Watkins as all guys who, you know, how they will contribute this season is maybe still up in the air, but that they all had stronger showings than freshmen typically do at camp. And then the final point is that LSU's offense could be extremely versatile / unique. And that's one thing that I'm, again, fascinated to see is what's going to be the identity of this offense in a post-Jaden Daniels age. Is it counter? You know, how effective can this rushing attack be? If it's not hitting early on, will you stick with it? Will you freak out and go fully on Garrett? We'll have to see.
There's going to be opportunities to be way more diverse in the run game than you were a year ago. And again, that's not throwing shade at last year. You didn't have to. You had the unicorn at quarterback that could do it all. I mean, ran for 1,000 yards, won the Heisman Trophy. We all know that. But, like, if you go back and you watch the Georgia Tech game like we talked about to start this show, you can do all of those things and then some.
Yeah.
Because your best group in the totality of the group is your offensive line. You've got running backs that are all different that can fit to different schemes. Use that group. Lean on that group. We know Mason Taylor can be a great blocking tight end as a Y as well. He's a willing blocker. Lean on that group, and that will take you to the promised land.
Hour 2 of OTB coming up next. Keep it locked here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the bench.
Go to Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. You need AC, heating, electrical work. You need to go with the best. And I can say that pretty objectively, right? Not an opinion. That's a fact. Just look at the Google review ratings. When they say service to the highest degree, that is not just lip service, okay? They walk the walk. The only way to fully find out is to use them yourself, but I promise you when you do, you're going to validate everything that I'm telling you right now. So, you have AC, heating, electrical needs, call up Accutemp, get it out of your home, licensed, bond, insured employees. They send you bios ahead of time about who's coming into your home. Make sure you're problem solved. Also, looking to whole home generators. They're your home for that. Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com.
Go to the website today to schedule your appointment. You can do it right there on the site, and chances are they're going to get that done today, and you're going to know exactly who is coming into your home. I'm going to send you a full profile of who is coming into your home. AccuTempBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, you know, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, you know. We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, August 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 95 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll continue to discuss LSU versus USC, and we'll talk some New Orleans Saints. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo! What up, y'all? Hour number 2 of OTB. Rolling right along. We are celebrating the glorious return of college football as Week 0 kicked off with a handful of bangers, none bigger than the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets finding their way to their first top 10 win in a decade, beating Florida State in impressive and non-fluky fashion.
Although that is Brent Key's 5th win against a top 25 team at Georgia Tech.
Really?
Yes.
5 ranked wins already?
5.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Coming up on this hour, I want to talk a bit of LSU-USC to open. Then we'll get into Saints preseason game number 3, a day in which no starters played, but still some performances to talk about. If you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045 ESPN is where you could do so. Hop in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Finally have it open now. Thank you, Alondra, for getting me the charger that I needed here.
You're welcome, but I apologize because I told you I didn't have one, and then I remembered I did have one.
You can apologize. He lost it.
Better late than never.
Wow.
You know?
This guy.
It doesn't matter.
I can...
real quick, and I know you got like a lot of sports to get to. How was the last leg, Bob?
It was great. It was fantastic. We celebrated my wife's best friend's birthday, so that was super fun. Shout out Captain Bailey. We hired a young man from Manny to captain a adult pontoon booze cruise. The Lost Frontier.
Nice.
A great, I mean, it's really a great little spot. It truly has that tavern in the middle of nowhere where weary travelers come to lay their heads, a little RV park right there on the water. You pull up, it looks like Lost Frontier, like you're in some primordial Jurassic land. And got myself a big old fried seafood platter and drank about 30 beers. It was awesome. And
oh my God,
and then
the nuclear bomb that was in your gut.
It was great, dude. A little bit of everything. And I always got to shout out the homies. I'm not going to see them again for like 6 months, but living the dream. Great place if you ever tried charter fishing trips or Let's go grab a beer while on the water. If you need to go fill up, a little gas, living the dream's the absolute best. So it was great. It was great. But now, this is the last time until probably
now we're
Christmas.
locked in.
Yeah, until Christmas that we'll be back up there. So goodbye, my friends. A lot of fun. For sure. Again, probably my favorite part of the weekend, though, was Friday night being pretty deep in my cups and watching Haynes King and Garrett Green highlights with Quad Bob while he tried to sleep. But he was in the pack and play, which has like a mesh net.
Yeah.
And the little dummy had his face pressed up against the net so that his nose looked like a pig, kind of. And he's like,
he was trying to get into those highlights.
I know. I was like, bro, I'm proud of you, dog. I'm proud of you. I'm just trying to indoctrinate him with football. Which, by the way, Taylor, what time would I have texted you about the Garrett Green highlights?
About 10:30.
Oh, wow. Felt a lot later.
Let me see.
Because Taylor's
10:31.
Yeah, Taylor's the only other. Again, like Haynes King, West Virginia has an alpha at quarterback this year.
Victoria did not appreciate it because I made her sit down and watch the highlights with me, and I said, "Let me explain to you who this guy is." And she's like, "Why is he underrated?" I'm like, "Because he's only 5'10", and people are doubting him." Oh, dude, I went on a little rant about why Garrett Green was underrated. She just sat there and stared at me.
I did the same thing. I made all the fellas at about 1 a.m. sit down and watch Haynes King and Garrett Green highlights. Granted, I don't know why the Garrett Green didn't seem to land with him as much, but whatever. What
with Quad Bob?
No, with the fellas, with all the guys. I made all the other adult men who were there, and then look. But I gotta say, your boy looked pretty validated Saturday when Haynes King comes out there and wins that game.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
There's a reason why I told you to watch the highlights.
Look, Haynes King is 6'3", 200 pounds, and a track star.
Yeah, former 5-star.
A track star in the state of Texas. Not like he ran track. He was a track star. Like, he's a Jimmy and a Joe. Like, he's got everything that you want. If he didn't have the interceptions last year, we would have been talking about him so much more here in this offseason. I'm talking about it on every show. Now, if you watch the tape, it's like there's enough there to get excited about. No, Haynes King is a dude. And he just didn't, he couldn't stay healthy. He won at A&M, but it just, all of A&M, obviously, that's why they got a new coach, and they paid Jimbo $75 million to not coach. It just was not working out for anybody there.
Haynes, one thing that I was impressed with him, and it's something that I want to see out of Nuss, and I think Nuss has this as well. We've seen it before, so I actually don't need to see it. But all the great quarterbacks do is he looked pretty unflappable. Or pretty even keel is maybe the better way of saying it. He never looked too pumped up, but he also never looked upset. He just kind of looked deadpan the entire time, even when good plays are being made. And the ability, I think that's a great trait for a quarterback to have. Defensively, I want a psychopath. I want 44 Eifert there in the middle, just kind of yelling and firing everybody. Your quarterback leader has to be a bit more composed. And I thought his composure was elite on Saturday. So let's get into a little LSU-USC, speaking of things that you want to see. I mentioned returning production to start the show today. This is something that should bode well for LSU if we're trying to think about just numbers that maybe should give you some sort of hope. USC 99th in the country in returning production. Remember, the best way to think about that is a ton of returning production does not mean you will be good or bad. It's more of a better metric as to whether or not you will be improved. Will you be better? So if you're already bad, you may still be bad, just less bad.
Which chart do you go off? You go off Bills or do you go off Phil's? Bill or Phil?
I just use Bill's S&P Plus.
Yeah, I use
but it's
Phil's.
also I'm not like super married to it as.
Well, what'd you say LSU was?
60th.
Okay.
In returning production, they have 63% overall, 55 on offense, 71 on defense.
So the way that Phil still breaks it down, it's not returning production; it's actually experience chart. So also transfers that are coming in, how much experience they have. LSU's 99th in that metric.
I wonder how Connolly handles transfers. I'll try to look that up. But again, the thing about this
because they lost so much on offense, by the way, if you're wondering how are they that low. It takes into account yardage coming back. I mentioned tackles earlier, Letterman coming back, percentage of big plays, and different kind of metrics like that. That's how
So I guess my point with this is not for it to be the end all be all. We are just looking for kind of general points about, what is the team bringing back. And USC, while both teams feel very similar in terms of, losing Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, and LSU's at 55% of return to offense production, USC only at 51%. Defensively, however, LSU bringing back 71% of their production, USC 49%. Now, USC has tried to remake this defense with transfers, but they tried that 2 years ago. And I believe in D'Anton Lynn, but I think I believe more in a Blake Baker side in which you're going to have a majority familiar faces. Guys like Ashton Stamps, who had to take their licks last year. Guys like Greg Penn, who have had to work through all of the bad, but has still maintained and still kept this defense together. Guys like Braden Swinson, who maybe found some success within all the bad. And then obviously like Harold Perkins and whatnot. So I know that USC has talented transfers, but if you're telling me that you're remaking both stabs and both defenses top to bottom, I think the more familiar cast of characters at LSU becomes an advantage, especially when you consider that we know those guys are talented. Go look at where they were ranked coming out of high school. Go look at how we've seen them flash before. They just haven't been in the best position to unlock that talent. And so if the returning production is that much, go ahead, Jake.
No, sorry. I was looking at the depth chart for USC and something popped off.
What?
Just how many transfers they have that came in that are not currently slated to start.
Oh, really? Like some of the bigger names that people are
well,
there?
not even necessarily bigger names, but you bring this many people in. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was
No,
I was a general reaction to
No.
oh my gosh, I can't believe that many people. So I wonder what that group kind of looks like. I'm trying to pull it back up. What that group looks like whenever they throw the starters out there, because we've talked about it. I mean, right now I'm seeing 5 transfers that they brought in, all their seniors that aren't currently slated to start. That's just interesting to me. If you bring that much talent in and they're not right now, a good
sign or a bad sign?
I don't know. So I can't I can't get the one way
it's kind
or the
of
other.
A good sign for
but
them.
Offensively, it's somewhat similar. Now you're talking about receiver, and so you're going to have more of those guys play. But I mean, we're talking about a nose tackle, a Mike linebacker, a corner, a safety, a nickel. Just a lot of players that aren't slated to start right now that you brought in. They brought in a ton on defense.
So I guess we're like the connection that I'm attempting to make here is that, as we know, both defenses mirror each other in their complete makeover and overhaul. I think the more familiar cast of LSU bodes well, and I think that the key to this game is in the same. I mean, you saw a little bit of it on Saturday with Tech. Make Miller Moss uncomfortable, right? It's like I told you, Georgia Tech early on, that first drive kind of set back a little bit, right? Let's play a little coverage, right? And what did DJU and company do? They ran all over them. They were right down the field, touchdown like it was nothing. Yeah. After that, they started saying, okay, you know what? We're gonna start to prioritize pressure and make him prove that he can beat us. And you say, oh, well, Miller Moss do up a bunch of he's not afraid to attack. Look at what he did in the Louisville Bowl game. Okay, we'll do it again. Prove it to me. And then look, if you go after him and he proves to be able to handle the blitz, handle the pressure, and he proves to be able to beat you man to man, well, okay then. Take your L, adjust, do what you need to do. But in terms of how to approach the game, I want to get after that ass. Do not sit back and let them dictate to you. You dictate to them. And if you think about this defensive, this pass defense, LSU's greatest pass defense probably lies within the pass rush. Because it's a symbiotic relationship, right? Coverage gets better, the rush gets better, the coverage gets better. But LSU's strength likely lies with those ends and Harold Perkins and Weeks and the creativity of Blake Baker. And so that's something that Georgia Tech kind of inspired in me Saturday that I really want to see is an aggressive man-to-man, not playing coverage approach and make USC prove that they can overcome that.
So what's your expectation? Because I know you just mentioned Miller Moss and what he did against Louisville, but like a lot of those guys that he was throwing the football up to, Washington and Rice, I feel like that's been hand-waved this offseason because I hear so many people. Like Deuce Robinson is a tweener tight end receiver. He's a giant, big playability, no doubt about it. Now, he only had 16 catches, but he did have 351 yards, 22 yards per catch. But I keep hearing about Zachariah Branch over and over and over again. No matter who I talk to about USC, hey, you got to watch this guy. I'm not besmirching the young man, but he had 31 catches for 320, 10 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
Why am I being told to watch Zachariah Branch? And this is not rhetorical. I'm asking the question to watch this young man when he caught 30-something balls last year and there was no big play. I think his long last year was 35 yards.
No, he had the kick return against San Jose State to open the year.
He had the big game where he had like a touchdown catch and the return his first game. And
Yes.
everybody's like, this is a freshman. This is USC's next best receiver. And he was flashy in the return game. But yeah, like to Jake's point, like he wasn't that great of a receiver last year.
No, I think there's enough hive mind there where maybe like, because I'm with you. I agree. There's nothing on paper that would justify the amount of hype. And to me, it almost feels like when you're writing about this game, because everybody's guilty of this, you can't study everything in depth, right? And so at a certain point, you do start to rely on, okay, well, what's kind of the majority opinion? And if everybody's saying that Zachariah Branch has to be accounted for, if you're going to write or think about this game, you're going to think, oh, Zachariah Branch has to be accounted for. But like Jake said, you dive into the numbers, you're like, well, does he? And so I don't know, Jake, because I'm with you, but I don't know. Is there maybe a world out there where like, all of the information that's coming out of practice is such that he's having like a massive camp and like all the insiders are being told that he's going to be the guy.
This has been all off season. So I want to go back to like March.
I mean,
in April.
Even look at the bowl game. I think Miller Moss completed passes to like 11 or 12 different guys, which is actually maybe the most impressive part about that performance.
I agree. I mean, everything about it was impressive.
But Zachariah Branch is at the bottom of that list.
Yeah, just like to give you an idea, Brendan Rice had 45 catches and 800 yards. Again, Zachariah Branch 31 for 300 yards.
Yeah.
So like this offense had big play ability. Washington 18 per catch, Rice 18 per catch, Robinson 22 per catch. Even Dorian Singer, who's at Utah now, had 12 per catch. It's interesting because he's a slot guy. So maybe some of his numbers because they're throwing him nows and whips and drags and different things. But if he's going to be the go-to guy, they're going to have Robinson also step up to have the passing attack that I think a lot of people assume they're going to.
I think that
watch Branch go for like 300.
I was going to say I think that because in theory he has that potential because of raw physical athletic ability. Maybe combined with an LSU second year, they might try to play man, and maybe they're not ready for that. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're kind of – now I know what you're going to say. Kyron Lacey has a much better foundation statistically to build off of, objectively true. But we're expecting Kyron Lacey to take a pretty large jump, right, to start playing at a first-round NFL level the same way that wide receiver one has for LSU the last few years. In that same way, I'm guessing that they're expecting Branch to take a significant year two jump. Go from 300 to 800, like if he reaches Rice's numbers, maybe that actually is equivalent to Kyron. Because Kyron's going to be expected to jump from what, like 500 to 1,000 or 600, whatever he had last season.
He is right at 600.
Yeah. So I think it's just kind of projecting maybe a bit, but yeah, that is one of the bigger questions. Should we actually be uncomfortable about Branch, or we're going to find out?
Yeah, and look, you can have the same conversation. Okay, well, what about LSU's other weapons? Well, it's like, Kyron Lacey had almost 19 yards per catch with the 30 receptions he had. He had 7 touchdowns. Okay, so that's more proven, certainly in the SEC. And then, like, Chris Hilton's a part of that conversation, but you're counting on Hilton to be your 3 or 4. Now, a big piece to what you do, and I always go back to it, a la Benny Brazil in 2005, where when Benny caught it, every pass he caught was impactful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have C.J. Daniels, who had 1,000 yards on a team that went and played a New Year's Six bowl game. And so I understand, like, you could have some of the same conversation with LSU, but even that is more proven than what you have right now for USC. So they need somebody to step up in that receiver room, because you lose your two biggest weapons, and then a guy like Dorian Singers now at Utah, and they're going to count on Woody Marks, the running back transfer from Mississippi State, to catch some passes. That's his MO. That is what he does, right? He had like a year, I think, at Mississippi State. He caught like 50 balls.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a part of it as well. But USC is going to need somebody to step up in that room, because you got a young quarterback. Like, Garrett Nussmeier has the ability to probably trust a Kyron Lacy more than Miller Moss can trust anybody else, because, well, he saw Kyron Lacy with Jaden Daniels do it on some of the biggest stages.
And I feel like Garrett
Mason
and
Taylor,
Kyron
too.
have done it together as well already. I'm not sure. We have to go look up specifically their connections. But look, either way, in a tale of these two defenses, which one improved more over the offseason is likely the difference in the game. And on paper, I like LSU's ability to improve a bit more. And I want to see them be aggressive and dictate to Miller Moss and make him prove that he is worthy of being one of those Lincoln Riley quarterbacks. All right, when we get back here at OTB, let's shift into preseason mode. Saints wrapping up the preseason. We got a 53-man roster coming up. Who do we think's going to make it? Who's going to miss? And then obviously we got to talk about Rattler, as Spencer wowed Saints fans yesterday. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. If you need Hardy Plague or Vinyl Siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door, you want to go with the experts over there at Tommy's. I feel comfortable saying experts because they've been at this for nearly 30 years, guys. Tommy worked in this business for 20 years and then he said, you know what? I've learned a ton over these 2 decades. There are some things that I would do differently, though, and so I'm going to do them. And now, every year that Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding has been in existence, they won the Angie's Super Service Award, okay? They give free professional estimates. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. They are the best. In fact, I'm so confident in Tommy's. Just go get a bid. Make them a bid on your project and let them prove to you why they are your answer. GEAUXTommys.com.
Yeah, go to the website today. Remember, you can check out a gallery of work that they've already done, but remember, they can do so much more because your custom job, they can get that done as well. Call them today, schedule that appointment, check out that work. Again, GoTommys.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add mountain.
Weekend winner, shout out Lake Mary, Florida.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Never Bunt crowd's really having a tough day. They bunted the ball and won the game on a bunt.
Yeah.
Take that, Never Bunt crowd.
Look, Kentucky gets into the postseason off just strictly small ball, so.
I feel like you're just talking to Moscona here. Is he the champion? Is he the lead dog of the Never Bunt crowd?
I mean, he's probably the lead, president of the club, but there's certainly a lot of people out there. But, hey, I grew up loving the Atlanta Braves and Bobby Cox, small ball sometimes. No, did they hit their home runs? Sure, but they were going to move a guy over before they hit that home run, and it just won the Little League World Series.
So let's talk a little New Orleans Saints as the third preseason game took place yesterday. Basically, no starters played, right? So,
for them, a lot for the Titans.
Yeah, for the Saints, there's nothing. There's no Derek Carr takes or anything else to be had after this game. There was Trevor Penning playing. There was Spencer Rattler playing. There were some guys defensively who showed out. But the story is Spencer Rattler, right?
Yes.
After that performance yesterday. So Jake Haener gets a start. Haener also plays well. I mean, Haener's stat line would have looked great as well had he not had a touchdown called back for penalty. But the thing about Haener versus Rattler is, while they're both playing very well, even if Haener's doing slightly better, which maybe you could statistically argue, it doesn't matter, because the reason why Rattler is so exciting is the combination of physical potential and what he's doing here in year number 1. Like, Haener has less physical potential. It's year 2, whereas Rattler, this is his first crack at it. We know about all that. Like, the ceiling just feels so much higher on Spencer Rattler. And maybe what I loved most about yesterday's performance is game 1, he was tantalizing. Game 2 was a major whoa, let's pump the brakes. So to then bounce back, and in game 3 to have such a solid performance, to deliver that dime of a throw to Equiminius St. Brown between about 4 defenders for the touchdown. As impressive as the performance was, it's the bounce back from the disappointment of game 2 that makes me feel really good here.
Spencer Rattler has the ability to be one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the world and be a starting quarterback in the NFL. There's a reason why we were talking about him 2.5 years ago potentially being a first-round pick and not in the late first round, in the early first round. He's got that ability. Now, he dealt with a lot of things in college, one of them being Caleb Williams, who was going to probably take anybody's job.
Yeah.
And he did. He came in Red River, won the game, won the job. Spencer Rattler goes to South Carolina. It wasn't as consistent as you wanted to see, and a lot of that because of the bomb squad in front of him.
Yeah.
Again, he never complained. Even yesterday, he threw an absolute dime to the tight end on about an 18-yard dig route, hits him right in the numbers, and he's like, all right, let's go. Didn't complain, right? Didn't go and shake his head or no, he's like, hey, let's go. I have dealt with this. This is not new for me. I have dealt with guys around me failing, and he was so good, T, that he's the most talented quarterback in the Saints quarterback room, and I don't think it's close. As far as talent, I'm not talking about he needs to be the starter right now. I'm not calling for him to be the starter, but he's got the most upside, to your point.
Yeah.
He can make every single throw, and the Saints could potentially have a steal on their hands getting him in the 5th round. He was the highest graded player the Saints had on offense yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I mean, 85.6.
Damn.
The out and up that he threw between the two DBs I don't know that any other quarterback in that game on that field, Titan or Saint, could have made that throw.
So he is QB2 going into the season. Why would he not be?
I think he is, because it's not like you have, to your point, if you had a Billy Volek, a Chase Daniel, a whoever, like, be a veteran guy who's like, hey, we like Spencer a lot. His upside's more than these two guys, but yeah, they've been in the league so long, and if we had to start them for 10 games, they'd get the first opportunity at it. You don't have that.
No, these
You've
guys
got
are
two guys who are
functionally
basically
equal.
the same.
Yes.
And Haener has not been bad.
He's been quite good.
I mean, I think your quarterback room is interesting because a lot of the fan base does not want the starter in there, but they feel good about the 2 and 3. And it's not one of those situations where the backup quarterback's the most popular guy. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's because you see yesterday a guy in Spencer Rattler that's going against, again, a lot of the Titans starters. Like, the Titans treated this game much differently than the Saints did. I mean, Will Levis played the entire first quarter. Tajay Spears was in that entire game. Even when –
how about that hurdle he tried?
I know.
He got lifted up like a cheerleader doing a stunt.
Even when Mason Rudolph came into the game, they kept the one offensive line. He was in there with Cush, like in that entire one offensive line. So this was their game that they were going to make their starters play the longest.
Yeah.
And you still went out there and did that. It was impressive.
So I think Rattler's QB2, and maybe even potential, like – I don't know if this season goes really, really south immediately. And if Derek Carr has just hit that end of the road that quarterbacks sometimes hit out of nowhere, right? Like, think about when Russell Wilson was a rookie back in Seattle and how all that went down. Like, you could potentially maybe see a world where if things go very south, he becomes a guy, or maybe he gets an opportunity because of injury. But either way, I feel like he has to be your QB2 here. Other major takeaways for the game, the Trevor Penning jet sweep play was I've seen enough. I've seen enough, and he
did play better, but yes,
it's not because he got beat. It's not because he got beat. It's that body language. He got bench pressed into oblivion and put in the ball carrier's lap, and then seemed mad at the guy running the ball for not, like, I don't know, for not, like, what, like cutting up inside of him, like somehow getting around him. I just, it really, really frustrated me. And you could say he played better, but the thing is, he's going to always remain limited with that form.
Yeah.
He's still out here shuffling, clicking his heels.
Just because I said it was better does not mean it was good.
Go look at the touchdown play. The block that he has there. He gets. I think Udo's got to be your starter.
It's a liability. If you put Trevor Penning out there right now in a quarterback that probably deals with pressure worse than anybody in the NFL, he's in that conversation, right? Clean pocket, Derek Carr's completely different. And you can say, oh, it's every quarterback. No, some of those quarterbacks and the way that they can thrive in chaos is incredible. He's not one of them. You have got to forget ceiling, forget all, like, what potential can be. You got to put the one right now, currently, that's going to protect Derek Carr the best and give him the best opportunity, because that is your quarterback. Yeah. That's who you have moving forward. So solidify that. Don't worry about potential. Don't worry about having Trevor Penning be a bust. He's already there. It is what it is, okay? And you've got a couple on your roster right now. You can't try to be the GM that tries to put him out there to fix your mistake. That's not how it works. The best GMs to me are guys like John Lynch. John Lynch drafted Trey Lance and traded an entire draft for him to select him, realized he screwed up, had what he had in Brock Purdy, and trades Trey Lance to the Cowboys. Thanks for those 5 interceptions over the weekend to the Chargers. And that's a good
Trey Lance threw
5 picks to the Chargers. That is a GM that's not worried about always being right. He wants to be the best team. So you trade Trey Lance, you start Brock Purdy, and you don't try to force the issue.
So, okay, but not forcing the issue is interesting, Jake, because I think a lot of Saints fans right now are maybe trying to force the Rattler thing a bit too much. Like Ryan Smith says, I'd rather have us burn this year and roll with Rattler than stick to mediocre status quo. I would say this, though. Also, let's think about what's best for Spencer Rattler. QB2 is a pretty good spot to be. Like, have we not seen now Green Bay use this idea of like developing a talented quarterback, giving him a little bit of runway? Have we not seen him use that to great effect? I'm not saying if you don't get desperate, you make a move, and obviously injury is injury, but like it also might not be the best thing for Rattler to immediately be QB1. Maybe it is, right? But other guys have been kind of ruined by being thrown in there a bit too early, and so I'm pumped on Rattler. I mean, you may have gotten a Dak Prescott type guy here, a later round pick that's going to end up being one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, but it's just let's not like I don't want to throw him to the wolves too early. Not force it. Now if the situation demands it here in a few weeks, yeah, man, then it is what it is. But give him a little runway to still learn this thing a bit, and he's going to be better for it.
I'm with you. Again, the upside's better than Derek Carr, but right now Derek Carr, what's this, 11th year in the NFL? Obviously, he is going to know things about the game that Spencer Rattler has yet to learn. And I really do think you have something. When you selected Spencer Rattler, we were all excited because we knew what the talent was.
Yeah.
And if you could just find the things around him to give him the chance to show, because he just didn't have that at South Carolina the last 2 years. You and I interviewed him at the Senior Bowl. We were blown away by his maturity.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we watched a Netflix show when he's 17 years old and he's popping off. We're like, oh, that guy's a turd.
Yeah, unfair.
Forget about him. Let's cancel that guy.
Unfair.
It's like, man, he was 17, he had a camera in his face, and when you're on a reality show, those producers are trying to do what? Get moments like that. Now, he did those things, but they try to get the juiciest moments and put those out there. And we all thought we knew who Spencer Rattler was. Again, on air and off the air. And it's important to say, because on the air is one thing. You're coached up. Off the air, I mean, he was incredible. We were like, oh, my man, I did not expect that. So you have a guy who was a first-round talent, dealt with adversity, a generational type guy, and Caleb Williams comes, takes his job. He goes to South Carolina. There's ups, there's downs. I mean, the ups, the Clemson-Tennessee run was as good as anybody played in the country that year in a 2-game stretch.
Yeah.
But then we know, I mean, he had no one blocking for him this year. The first game, he got hit like 17 times.
Which may actually be a positive for him.
Yes, because he's like, holy hell, a clean pocket?
Yeah, like too many.
I can step into this throw. I don't have to throw it like I'm Derek Jeter at shortstop jumping up in the air.
So many great college quarterbacks come from great college programs that have great O-lines that are better than their opponents the majority of the time, and so they don't know how to handle it when you're on a more even playing field. Like for Rattler, he might think the Saints O-line is good. I mean, he's like, wow, this is awesome, guys. Penning,
He's
you're
like,
the
oh
man.
my God, Landon Young, you're a
You
stud.
got a shutdown tackle out here.
He probably is.
So, but again, guys, look.
He probably is. That's
give
so
it a little
bad.
time. Give it a little time.
Oh,
and
it's so bad.
And if it goes disastrously, maybe it happens. But either way, you gotta be tantalized by what Spencer Rattler's showing you. All right, when we get back, let's talk a little 53-man roster. Also a bit later in the show, guys, The Athletic came out with their yearly quarterback tier list, where they get the head coaches, the GMs, they get all these NFL minds to rank all the quarterbacks. Where does your favorite quarterback rank? Where does Prescott rank? Where does Carr rank? Who's in tier 1? We'll get to it all later in the show.
Off the bench.
No Herbert.
No.
Give Prescott and Carr. By God, you can give Herbert. He's the best of the three.
What do you mean? Oh, you're saying as a tease, like tease
Yeah,
where Herbert
you gave
is.
your two quarterbacks.
Okay, yeah, my bad. Yeah. We'll tease where's Herbert as well. Go to oakparkevents.com. Park is P-A-R-C. Fellas, you just got engaged. Massive congratulations. Let your boy help you out. If there's one thing I know in this life, it's being married, right? I've basically been married since I was 16, or at least for a long time now. At the time, though, at times, I've maybe been accused of being a bit unthoughtful, or maybe a bit lack of involvement, especially in the wedding planning. Well, here, I'm going to help you out, guys. You're engaged. Tell your wife, hey, I'm so excited. We got to go tour these places. I already said something out with Park 73, Oak Lodge. All of a sudden, you're getting brownie points, and you're going to a place that has done thousands of weddings. And do whatever vibe you want, whether it's more New Orleans-y, more outdoorsy, and can cater it, customize it, however you want. A true turnkey service make your wife happy. Go to oakparkevents.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you.
Off the bench.
Mama told me. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, Villarreal, and Taylor Shop. Hanging out with you today. Okay, Saints, 53-man roster. Wide receiver. It's going to be Olave. It's going to be Shaheed. It's going to be Cedric Wilson. And it's going to be Bub Means. And then it becomes interesting. Do you keep A.T. Perry?
I thought A.T. Perry played well again this week.
He did. But so did Equiminius. God, I love saying Equiminius. Do you keep...
When you said it, I knew. I was like, this is a word T-Bob is hoping he gets to say more.
Well, doesn't it just roll off the tongue? It's very mellifluous. Equiminius.
Francisco.
What
do you think his nickname was?
Francisco. The Equalizer.
Probably not.
He's a big Queen Latifah fan.
Denzel, sir. We're going with the movie.
No, I know that was the joke. That was a joke. I mean, I don't think anybody thinks of Equalizer as like, oh yeah, Queen Latifah. No, you think of Denzel. And then so it's going to be A.T. Perry, Equiminius, St. Brown. Do you have a great opinion on who you keep? I guess maybe there's a world where you keep all, but I don't think so.
You know me. I'm a big A.T. Perry fan. I think he's a really good player. I think there's some inconsistencies there, and that's the reason why he hasn't taken off yet. But just pure talent, size. I'm going to take A.T. Perry. And Bub Means is okay, but I would take A.T. Perry over him.
You would take A.T. Perry over Bub Means?
I would.
I guess to be clear, I am going off of New Orleans Football's roster predictions that Brandon Thomas might triplet
till tomorrow.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, I should have made that more clear to people listening. These are predictions. But I did think it was interesting that Underhill, Triplett, and Thomas all to a man had the same top 4. The only difference came in St. Brown and A.T. Perry.
It's their prerogative. I think A.T. Perry's got a higher ceiling than the rest of the crew that's at the back end there. But we've heard Dennis Allen talk about A.T. Perry, and he feels like one of those players that's just not a great practice player, and maybe that is something Dennis Allen just struggles with because he has been a gamer. In the preseason, he has showed up. But I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go back to my draft notes from Kansas City year, where I think that was one of the things is like coaches wanted more from him in practice and like showing him what he could do. And it sounds like maybe that hasn't translated to the NFL either.
Running back wise, Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Jamal Williams, Adam Prentice, Jordan Mims. Again, all three guys.
They love Jordan Mims.
All three guys had the same list. Obviously, no Kendre Miller here.
I was hoping that James Robinson could kind of find his way in New Orleans because this is a back that has had success in the NFL at a high level for a season.
Yeah.
But it feels like just like
ring
every running back, like you get later in your career, it's just like the game just continues to go down year after year and it never even stays at the same spot. Yeah, I don't really have a big argument there. Like we don't know who Kendre Miller is because we haven't seen him.
No.
And that TCU team, I don't know if we were on the air or off the air. We were talking about it.
We mentioned it on air. Yeah.
They just
all a bust.
All of them except Davis. And Darius Davis had a 70-yard reverse against the Cowboys, like first play of scrimmage. Like he continues to be really good. Shout out Westphal. Outside of that, like every player from that TCU team has been fraudulent.
All right, when we get back, we'll roll real quick through the rest of this roster. I still want to get to the Athletics quarterback tier list as well. A big commitment for LSU football. Taylor's got his NFL story of the day. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. GetGordon.com/billboard if you want to design Gordon's next Bilbo. But look, man, you can also go to GetGordon.com and you can just go free, fill out a free consult right there on the website. They'll get in touch with you immediately. So stand up to the big insurance companies to get what you deserve by getting Gordon and getting it done today. 225-888-8888. Make sure to follow him on social media at GetGordon.
GetGordon.com is the website. And like we tell you every single day, so many things you can do on the website. You can get a question answered. You can get a consultation set up. You can find past client results, cases they can handle for you, all on the website. Again, GetGordon.com. Like T-Bob just mentioned, at GetGordon on all major social media. That is the handle to see what they're doing in the community and also what they're doing with your favorite athletes throughout the state of Louisiana. Speaking of throughout the state of Louisiana, you can call them. It is your area code where you're at in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Back to school savings at Bayou Ford. $12,000 off F-150. $12,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And $10,000 off Expedition. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
My bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be
Off the bench.
Welcome back.
As a kite by
Okay, let's run through this, guys. We don't have much time here. Tight end, Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, Dallin Holker. There's not really any question of that. Defensive end, Granderson, Cam Jordan, Chase Young, Peyton Turner, and Isaiah Foskey.
Oh, Foskey makes the roster.
Yeah, everybody says it, man, interestingly.
All right.
Didn't do much. He had a TFL yesterday, but it wasn't a particularly impressive one.
It was a blown-up play,
Yeah.
and they ran into him.
Yeah. A D tackle, Brian Brzee, Nathan Shepard, and then Christian Boyd's name that everybody mentioned. Kalen Saunders got left off the list too, which would feel odd to me.
Christian Boyd's not been great in the preseason.
I think maybe you would keep all four of them. We'll see. Linebacker, Demario Davis, Pete Werner, Willie Gay, Anthony Orji. Anthony Orji has been fantastic, forcing his way onto this team, as the Cannon said on radio last night. Who doesn't love an orgy? Apple Meat Tree. Kaleki Hudson, DeMarco Jackson, also on the projected roster. At cornerback, it's Lattimore, Adebo, Taylor, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and then Shamar Jean-Charles. Safety, Tyrann Mathieu, Jordan Howard, Jonathan Abram, JT Gray, Will Harris. And then kickers, a bit up in the air. I think it's probably Blake Grupe over Charlie Smith. And I think it's probably Matthew Hayball over Lou Headley. But both of those can't quite be known just yet. But there it is, man. Maybe a little projected 53. Any surprises there?
Boyd,
Yeah.
defense tackle. I don't think he's been. I know he's a draft choice, but I don't think he's been great at all in the preseason.
Yeah.
Nothing to make me think that you would cut a veteran player.
Especially because in the whole idea, in the whole thing that Kalen Saunders has been really good for this team. Look, I'll be surprised. See, I don't want to go too deep here because this is a projected roster, and we will get the 53-man win, Jake. Is it Thursday or is it Tuesday?
Tomorrow's the 27th, yeah.
A day that holds brutal memories from my past. Probably even more brutal nowadays because back in the day, there were a couple days of cuts. So it was almost like you were surviving like a reality television show. Now you just go from 90 to 53. I mean, almost a coin flip, a true bloodletting all in one day. And it sucks. It sucks for everybody whose dream comes to an end. But there's more practice squad availability now, which is great. There's a UFL now, which is potentially viable. I don't know what the salaries are like there, but if you want to make money playing football, the UFL is there if you're good enough. And there's 32 other teams, right? Like the New Orleans Saints should be scouring offensive linemen that other teams drop and see if there's anything there for them. So this may not be the end for players, but it will be an end for, again, about 50% of this roster.
Yeah, it's a day that nobody likes. Even the Turk himself doesn't like this day, and it's got to happen. You got to get down to 53, and then you'll have your practice squad, and teams hope that their practice squad guys don't get claimed by other teams, but some of those guys will. They'll have an opportunity. And even if you make the team, this has happened to me before. You make the team on a Tuesday, you practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something happens, you get released on a Sunday. So even if you make the team, in air quotes, sometimes you don't make the team.
Yeah.
So
it's God, that would be even more brutal.
Oh, it happened to me my last year.
Tease.
My last year in Denver, Von Miller got popped for, was it PEDs?
Yeah, probably. It might have been like Adderall, but
it might have been something like that. Yeah,
under the PED, maybe Molly.
And I made the team and put the kids in school, paid tuition, signed a lease because I was a veteran player. And you told me I made the team, and we were days after it. Then Vine got popped, and I was the only fullback on the roster, and they justified me being on the roster until they couldn't. And they brought in another linebacker, and I got released.
God, so shout out! I don't know. Shout out to everybody who has to go through that. It's a rough day. It's a rough day, but it's also a happy day, right? It's also a happy day for guys like if Bub Means does find his way on this team, if Anthony Orji finds his way on this 53-man roster. It is just as exciting and happy for them as it is bad for those others. Imagine that classic thrill of victory, agony of defeat dynamic that makes sports so addictive to all of us outside looking in. When we get back, we got weekend winners. We got our athletic tier list. We got a big commitment for LSU football. We got Dem Snow. We got a big hour coming up. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. Football season is here, guys. It's not too late to act, though. I keep telling you about getting some drop-down exterior shades for your outdoor living area, outdoor kitchen. If you got a setup back there, grill, whatever, let them come out of your home and tell you what's possible. Because they can bring your home to the next level, and you can be grilling and literally chilling this fall. Cut off the glare off the TV, make cool the house easier inside. All of this and more. KTZ window coverings, KTOZblinds.com.
Look, we all love sitting outside and watching football in the fall, but sometimes it's unbearable here in South Louisiana, really throughout Louisiana. And so if you want to do that, you want to be comfortable, you want to take the glare away from the TV, you want to be able to actually enjoy the fresh air, go get you a drop-down shade from K to Z. It has changed the complete dynamic of our home. KTZblinds.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light, choose chill.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, August 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 95. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have weekend winners. Then Devin Snow will hop on the show at 9:15. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all?
That is much better than
Welcome
that
back.
generic-ass little thing Mario used to go up and down with the slider.
Oh, yeah,
oh, my God.
yeah.
Get me ready for hour 3 one time. That's permanent, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Whoa.
Big hour coming up here. Let's start, though, as we do every hour at 3 on Monday, with weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We gotta keep our composure. Got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
My first weekend winner is obvious, okay? And it's all of us. It's college football fans in general. I keep talking about it, right? We sit here on the precipice of the most revolutionary, the most unprecedented year in college football history. We have completely reforged the sport top to bottom. And what a game one we were treated to in Aer Lingus Stadium over the weekend with Georgia Tech and Florida State. And you know what, Jake? Interestingly enough, it's a validation of a lot of the changes that have been made. Me and the fellas were talking about this at the lake. Where would Haynes King be without a transfer portal? Buried to time. Lost to time. That's what I'm saying. His story would have been that of somebody who was a big-time recruit, got hurt, and was never seen again. Or maybe he would have gone to like a 1AA school, something like that, had to go play over there. But now, through this, allowed to transfer, not sit out a year, and allowed to flourish and thrive because situation matters. Okay, and this is why guys transfer. And it's great because it creates more good football teams. Georgia Tech no longer buried for not being able to attract a guy out of high school, able to find answers elsewhere. And so you're seeing all of college football get better. What a week 0 start. And here we sit with a massive slate of games this weekend. College football is back, and we're winners.
I just realized that we're going to be able to park somewhere in Vegas and watch the full slate on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even cross my mind.
I think I'm going to be at, I think the plan's to go to that
Jimmy's thing?
stadium swim place.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude. It's a giant Vegas pool party built around watching and gambling on sports.
And we're going?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's doing
what
like
a
this
non-foxhole I am. I said weird.
Well, I
you
mean,
said
I
three
can't speak.
times.
I'm saying I can't speak for you.
What else
You have
am I going to
Saturday
do?
Plans?
No, but apparently you're planning stuff without me.
Then come to the pool.
No,
Now you're not going to come to the pool?
Not if you're there. You're the worst.
That's I feel like
I had no idea. And you're like, oh, I'm going to be there. I don't know about you.
Alondra knew about it.
I did know about it.
I didn't.
What are
That's
we
the whole
talking
point.
about?
Only because Bo told me about it on Friday. It's Jimmy Ott's thing that he's doing.
Well,
over
I don't
there.
know
You know, Vegas
about
loves
it.
Jimmy.
I'm not going.
Yeah, that's the only
We can hang out
social.
before
That's
the
the only
wedding.
social escapades I have planned over the weekend. Otherwise, I'm going to be chilling, ready for some whiskey and wine.
I don't like the pause you had there.
Yeah.
Taylor, can you pull up my first link in the doc where it says Meathead of the Week, please?
It's our guy. Look at him, dude.
How could it not be?
44.
How can this not be? So every week we are going to, and I say we.
Meat of the week.
I'm going to
Let's
give
just shorten it. Meat of the week.
Nope. I'm going to give out a Meathead of the Week. This is, without question, Week 0 Meathead of the Week. Kyle Eford, linebacker for Georgia Tech. My God, look at the neck roll. Look at the 44, which is like the most meathead number of all time. He was in on like 73 tackles. He was the enforcer all game long. Florida State wanted no part of him or his neck roll. It's going to be hard to dethrone him as the Week 0 Meathead of the Week, and we are going to have a trophy at the end of the year for the person that is the Meathead Player of the Year. Strong candidate right out of the gates.
Yeah, it's a risk too, because if you have that neck roll and you suck, it's embarrassing.
Oh, it's check neck roll.
Yes, you look very unathletic.
Yeah, if you're slow,
Yes.
they're checking the route off of you wearing that neck roll, but if you're a dog,
it looks awesome.
Even a guard's like, man, I'm tired of hitting 44's little ass.
And he was hitting. And he was hitting, and he was yelling. He was lining everybody up, yelling, the emotional leader.
He had the green
physical
dot in the back
leader.
of his helmet. Got the comms.
If you're not a dog, you just look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, but if you're a dog,
good.
you look like you're related to Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
I
it's
mean, I remember
beautiful.
one of the guys I was watching just kept being like, God, that guy looks like a psycho.
Yes.
I was like, yes, I know. That's why we love him.
Yeah, the trophy is going to be, you probably guessed it, some form of a neck roll.
All right, it's the last time I'll say it. Meat of the week. I won't make that joke again. The last one. Promise. I had to do it one more time.
All right, I got a couple of, I know people might not like this because it's football season and this is baseball stuff, but a couple former Tigers are some weekend winners.
Okay.
It was announced Friday. Our guy Dylan Cruz cruising into the show.
Nice.
He is going to be called up
Let's
for
go.
the Nationals. I'm supposed to start today, so I don't.
Do
We'll
we
see.
Do we want to play the video of him telling his mom?
Oh.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me a sec. I didn't know we were going to do this.
Sorry, I put it in the doc. I was like,
Cruz
somebody's
Monsell.
going to give Dylan Cruz some love, if not all of us. And so, great video. I think the Nationals just put this out, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold on. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so he's getting called up, and then also I had another one.
Yeah, Phil Time with the other
Phil Time
one.
with the other one.
Come on.
Trey
You got this.
Morgan.
Yeah.
We know he got called up to the AA, but he has been going off
Okay.
in AA. So he hit his first homer of the season.
Let's go.
And I have it ready whenever y'all are. But like in
Nice
the
job.
last 5 games, he's had 16 at-bats, 8 hits in those 16 at-bats.
So good.
And he has 8 RBI
Let's
as well.
go,
So
He
this
is going to
dude
play a
is-
long time.
Yeah, and like I had
Go,
to give
Trey.
my guy Trey a little shout. He's like one of my favorite LSU baseball players ever. But are you ready for it? Okay.
All right, here's Dylan Cruz.
Can you hear me?
What's up, Mom?
Hey, honey.
What you up to?
Oh, I'm at Wayne Dixie. I'm gonna get some stuff for me, some dinner.
Sweet.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Nothing much. Just hanging out here at the field right now. But you got any plans coming up this next few days?
Absolutely not.
Well, good, because got
We're going to come watch you play at Nashville Spark against the Yankees on Monday.
Oh my God, honey. I'm so excited for you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Oh,
dude.
it's so good. That almost got me. That was,
Yeah, you can see her in Winn-Dixie. So happy.
In Winn-Dixie is
true joy and mirth.
God. I can appreciate being in the Winn-Dixie.
First start against the Yankees.
Yeah.
Love it.
National
Legendary.
Park at home against the Yanks.
Hell yeah.
All right, Dylan.
Let's go, Cruz. Sorry, bro. It's football season.
Wow.
I'm just saying that. I'm
Whoa.
sorry, Dylan. Well, I'll look forward to watching you next year.
Dylan,
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
watching
I'm
tonight.
just
watch.
kidding. I'm just
I'm
kidding.
going to watch.
He's supposed to. So him
I'm
and Skeens
just
are going to
kidding.
face each other soon.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
I think next week they're supposed to.
Ooh,
Hell yeah. I would watch that.
I think the Pirates play the
be
Nationals next week.
Taylor, what you got?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit to open the show. Montana State weekend winner for me. Going into the fourth quarter, they were down 31-14, and they came back and won that game 35-31. Last touchdown they scored with 10 seconds left. They scored all 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to come back and win that game. So Montana State weekend winner.
I mean, that game was a banger. SMU Nevada was a banger. The MEAC SWAC Challenge game was a banger. It was crazy how much good football. Again, weekend winner, all of college football. I actually don't have another winner. We got Dev coming up. Does anybody else have one? I mean, go for it. If anybody else has
I got a weekend loser. It's the second link inside of the document there.
Yeah, this is good. This is really
This
good.
is okay.
Does this need sound?
Yes.
This is.
Oh, wait, no. It doesn't need sound. No,
need
my bad.
sound.
It
It
does
doesn't
not
need
sound.
sound.
That's
This is my guy, Danny Cannell, who is our morning show host over on Channel 84, Florida State alum. And look, I've had to sing the fight song for Florida State. I've had to do a lot of things over the last 2 years. But my God, I cannot believe that Danny hit the send button on this one, Taylor. Can you pull it up?
So we need the. Hold on, I'm getting the tweet right now.
I'll pull it. Yeah, I got it. I'll pull it up.
So if you're watching right here, it is a play at the end of the game where the Georgia Tech running back appears. I don't think it's as clear
It's not
cut that
clear
Danny
cut.
says.
Knee down.
But appears that he gets tackled what looks like maybe out of bounds, but the refs run the clock and it ends up costing about 45 seconds. And Cannell literally had the gall to tweet out, "Whatever you do, FSU fans, do not blame the loss on the refs screwing up this call by not noticing the ball carrier was clearly out of bounds, which would have left about 45 seconds on the clock for the Noles." He's not clearly out of bounds, first off.
He's not.
But
no.
secondly, bro, you were double-digit faves coming off an undefeated season, and you're gonna and especially with all like the complaining stuff that people levied against y'all last side, which I was on Florida State side and all of it. Like, but this is how you're gonna open the season. That's sad. That is some beta ass energy.
Yeah, it's tough. Look, we know this too well. Like T-Bob and I have had to pop on this show 4 Monday mornings in a row after an opening season loss, and you got to take it. You just gotta. You got to be like, well, it happened again.
Yeah.
Like even when you have 2 kicks blocked in the Superdome and one's an extra point after a game, what you thought tying touchdown, and you just got to say, hey, we didn't win.
They're the better team.
You can't do this. You can't
Blaming
do this.
the refs.
Yeah.
And not even like
a
on
blatant,
an obvious call, not on like a
I think his
that
knee was
big
down
of a play.
in bounds.
Like
yeah. Certainly,
that's
when
sad.
you got when you get pushed around like Florida State did,
yes,
it's like LSU got pushed around against UCLA. You just got to say, you know what? They were the alpha. We were the beta. It didn't work out for us. We weren't ready for counter with Zach Charbonnet. That should be the storyline, not this one. I was surprised. I was surprised my guy DK went there. He's kind of owned up to it and had some great tweets after that, but I had to point this one out.
How about on first down runs, Georgia Tech averaged 3.2 yards before contact. You want to blame something, blame that. It's called getting your ass kicked. All right. No other winners, losers, anybody? Going once, going twice. Coming up next, I got Holden Mayo.
Off the bench.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You want to join the All-Star family today? You want to go to All-Star Toyota, and maybe it's a new sedan like a Camry, maybe it's a big old truck like a Tundra, or maybe you've reached Maslow's highest of the hierarchies, self-actualization, and you realize that what you've always needed most in life to reach your full potential, to become the person you were always meant to be, is a Toyota Sienna minivan. Either way, whether it's new, used, whatever, you want to go see them off of Airline and Goodwood today, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com.
Go to the website today to see what you can buy new, to see what you can lease, which T-Bob and I have both taken full advantage of that. We've also taken advantage of the rental department. Call Miss Lisa Sessions today and get that reserved. Maybe you're going to watch the Tigers play in College Station, or for some reason you would choose Gainesville, Florida. I don't know. Maybe you're a weirdo, but you can go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com to reserve that vehicle.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love.
Off the bench.
Yo, welcome back to OTB. Hey guys, remember we keep telling you about the Queen. NFL season around the corner, about to open up with a little Thursday night football, and the place to watch it is at the newly renovated, brand new, top to bottom, looking fine as hell Queen. Where me and Jake will actually be hanging out there at the DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a brand new, great place to watch a game. 1717 restaurant has great food, ton of drinks, about 1,000 televisions. There's Shaq's Big Chicken, there's a 3-walk noodle house, and there's an entire casino. You know, I mean, so what are you waiting for? Come hang out with us. It'll be a few different times this fall, but yeah, the first one going to be that opening night Thursday, Chiefs and Ravens.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Ravens at Chiefs.
Lamar Mahomes? Yeah,
Yes.
hell yeah, dude. Doesn't get better than that.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Doesn't get better than that. We'll talk about those quarterbacks in our tier list. So check out the Queen, guys. If
All
you have
crew
not
be there.
been since they renovated it, it's fantastic. Let's go to our guy live from Spread Quarters, Dem Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. Rat Dat seems to be what Devin and the boys are on now. As Jake, Devin has lost so much objectivity. Devin has lost so much objectivity in this quarterback race that he's accusing Derek Carr of paying receivers to drop balls. Defend yourself, Dev.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what am I going to say to that, Dev? Floor is yours.
Oh, wait, hold on. Dev's mic's not on. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
The Cowboys fan
Is it
trying to
on
mute
Taylor?
the Saints
Is
fan.
it on Taylor? We're going to find out. We're almost there. Hold on. I love that we get to watch the actual sausage being made here. Taylor going through all of the menus, trying to figure out what's going on. Guys, this is some Dennis Allen type stuff from OTB here. We got to be better than this.
Yeah, this is some like Trevor Penning.
This is Trevor
This might
Penning,
be on
right?
Dev.
Like we're doing pass sets.
I don't really know.
He
He looks great though, crystal clear.
He does look crystal clear.
The internet is certainly working.
The new internet's continue to work out. What is it? Is that a peep?
It might be on Dev.
Daniel said, "Hold the audio."
All right, hold on. Y'all get it figured out. Y'all get it figured out. And okay, real quick, this is what we'll do then. We're gonna have to audible real quick until we get the audio figured out. Jake, The Athletic. Every year they do a quarterback tier list. Okay, on this quarterback tier list, this is why I think this list matters and why it's so legitimate. You have 50. The people that answered are 50 people. It's 7 general managers, 8 head coaches, 12 coordinators, 12 executives, 8 assistant coaches, and 3 analytics guys. So like every piece of the football pyramid, including like the biggest names, right?
Yeah.
They go through there were 30 eligible quarterbacks this year. They go through all of them and they assign them a tier. And then you do the math and average it out.
Okay.
Tier 1 is a quarterback that can carry his team each week. The team wins because of him. He expertly handles pure passing situations. He has no real holes in his game. Tier 2, a quarterback can carry his team sometimes, but not as consistently. He can handle pure passing situation in doses and or possesses other dimensions that are special to elevate him above tier 3. He has a hole or 2 in his game. Tier 3 is a legitimate starter, but who needs, a heavier running game, a defensive component to win, a lower volume draft back passing offense suits him best. And then tier 4 is it could be an unproven player or a guy who should not be starting. All right, we got Dev on the phone. Dev, what's up, brother? What's going on? Sorry about that, man.
No, it's all good. I'm dealing with new stuff, so we just got to, just test it for.
Ain't no big deal, bro. I know how this goes. There's nothing more frustrating than like you're doing spread quarters all on your own, right? So you have to figure it out on your own. I'm starting to get in that world, having to figure out streaming stuff, and when something goes wrong, trying to troubleshoot what it is maddening.
No, it's all good. It's definitely probably on me. We just got to test it beforehand. That's all.
How about this? Why are you accusing Derek Carr of paying receivers to drop balls?
I mean, obviously I was joking, but I mean, come on, let's be human about this. There's no way that Derek Carr's standing on the sideline thinking like, "Man, go Spencer Rattler." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
do you think he's not like? I don't know, man.
Not genuinely.
I just don't. So you think he really could be threatened by Rattler?
Dude, how could you not be? I mean, I'm not saying this year anything like that. Bro, I'm at a new piece with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I just got baptized. I'm at a whole new piece with this because what I'm most thankful for and happy about more than anything is that the Saints got a future QB for a long time on the roster. And
You have long-term hope. He's giving you that.
And it may be hyped now. It may be overhyped, whatever you think. But you can't tell me watching this kid play that he won't be a starting quarterback in the league because he's going to be. It's like a stock that is going to blow up. So, start buying shares because it's about the Apple, it's about the NVIDIA, Google, all that because it just is what it is. I mean, the guy looks very comfortable for a dude that's only played 3 preseason games, a few quarters.
I would agree with you. However, like, for every apple there is an Enron, right? Like there are these stocks that don't end up popping that look like these surefire hits. But I definitely agree with this. Spencer Rattler has given Saints fans a long-term hope, a kind of light at the end of the tunnel that did not exist going into this preseason. Let's say this, wrapping up the preseason as a whole, did expectations go up or down based upon what you saw?
As far as for the Saints as a whole?
Saints as a whole.
I mean, I feel better.
Okay.
But I think that has a lot to do with, okay, we're about to go into a clean slate, and I think anybody who's a fan of their favorite football team, I mean, if you love football, you know a clean slate. That means a lot. So I'm happy for that. I'm more thankful for Derek Carr than ever. I forgive Derek Carr for everything.
And why is this?
I hope he forgives me. Just because I'm okay with having this guy that is going to somewhat, and I want to emphasize somewhat, keep this team afloat, for the next year.
So you're happy for him to be that bridge guy, that pure bridge guy, so you can find your happiness.
Yes. I can watch him play with an open mind now. So whatever he does for us is appreciated, and it's lagniappe because why? Because we got a holographic Charizard ready to battle for years and years to come.
Nice. Dev, let me ask you this, because me and my oldest son were talking about this.
I don't know if Rattler's a hologram.
Chill out. We're talking about this with the Saints, okay? So, we're both Charger fans, me and my oldest son, and last year, they realized what it was. Herbert got hurt. They kind of tanked, and they get Alt in the draft, and they get Harbaugh, and they hit reset. For you being a Saints fan, if Game 4 or Game 5, because the Saints have been so reluctant to hit reset or start over, they have tried to hold on, and it's been impressive. The window's been long. If it's Game 4, Game 5, and you're 1-4 or 2-3, and Carr looks bad, do you make the move to Spencer Rattler, though? Are you believing that much in him?
I don't know. I mean, I believe in that he should be the number 2 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happens, and look, I said it last night, let God handle it at this point, because we've done talked about it as much as we can. Spencer Rattler went out there and showed what he could. I believe that he's the number 2 quarterback, and I mean, come on, more than likely, there is going to be an opportunity for him this season. I don't think that sounds crazy, because if we go off of history, Derek Carr is going to miss a few quarters.
Yeah, for sure. Carr's a tough guy. He'll play hurt, but he probably will miss some time.
But yes, I feel good about, to answer the question, yeah, I do. I kind of do feel good about it, because just what I've seen as far as this dude is so quickly aware to just let the ball rip. It's impressive. He just rips it, bro. Sees a guy deep, he throws it. I don't recall any deep balls this preseason from Derek Carr. And I'm not, I know
he had the miss. He had the miss in Game 1. Remember?
Yeah.
That was the only one that they really went for.
And then the people who say, oh well, if Derek Carr threw that ball to A.T. Perry underthrown like that, everybody would be on his ass. Yeah, he's been in the league 11 years. This kid's been in the league
11 minutes.
Couple weeks. Of course, because Spencer Rattler's way less experienced, way younger. We expect that. At least he made the play.
We didn't talk about yet today? Samson Nakua's got to get in the end zone.
Got to get in the end zone.
What are we doing? I know that your legs, he said his legs were dead at the 50.
It doesn't matter.
But you got to find a way. You got to
find a way.
All that hard work. And then you let a dude from the Netherlands tackle you.
Yeah.
That was kind of on Abram, though, in a way, because Abram started celebrating, and he could have made that last block.
True.
He started putting his hands up in the air. And
True.
Now, I will say this. That was a long – I know
that was a long play.
I could have made a sandwich. I could have made a sandwich.
Probably 180 yards he covered.
Boy was tired when he cut back. Okay, let's do it.
Hey, I doubt he'll make the team, but the Saints do need to take kick returns more serious. We need a guy that can make a difference on the kick return.
Is Shaheed not going to do it? I thought maybe they were just –
I mean, if he keeps getting hurt, why would they put him there?
God, that's right. I mean, that's probably an under-talked about part of this preseason is Shaheed. We're here on the precipice of taking this big step forward. Supposed to be wide receiver too, and he just ain't been out there that much.
Yeah, and I don't really understand the narrative that we kind of getting from, we got so many receivers that, we're going to have to cut somebody that, no, we really don't. We want injury away from having a bunch of Uber drivers.
No, I'm about to say, we got a lot. There's bodies there because every NFL roster carries 5 receivers, but
yeah.
I don't think anybody cares about a single Saints receiver not named Chris Olave.
Right. Like, even Shaheed, I'm like, okay, let me see you play a full season this year. I don't know. I just can't stop thinking about Mike Thomas. I can't.
I know.
Just because, like, why not? It has to be a Derek Carr situation. Derek don't want him. He ain't coming. So,
dude, I don't know.
That's from California stuff.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I think your distaste for Carr is clouding your judgment, maybe here. And also, look, it was heady times when Mike Thomas was out there setting NFL records. I mean, those were the best of times. Arguably, like, those times felt as good as the rise did, as, like, 09 and 11 did. Like, you re-reached those heights back in 18. But,
yeah, who's been watching Derek Carr highlights? DJ 3 Schools.
DJ 3 Schools.
That guy. I mean, what more do you need to see? What did Florida State see? I mean, at Clemson and Oregon State.
Yeah.
He had many games like this. I bet on Oregon State a lot last year. This dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, just a stagnant quarterback. And
yeah, no doubt.
Dude's played for like 12 years, and the coaches don't even trust him to take the game over.
I mean, he had 58. He completed 58% of his passes last year.
Hey, their best formula the whole game was at the end of the game when they were running 3 times, first down, second down, third down, and then they'd throw on fourth down. That's how much they don't trust that guy. And Hayes King, that dude's got Josh Allen in him. Period. I mean, that dude's a football player.
He fixed his goofy throw motion too. Remember, he used to have that weird, like, there's that famous picture of him with his arm like stretched. It looked like 10 yards out trying to throw the ball. He's got it fixed, man.
And just on the contrary, I know Taylor said Montana State was a weekend winner. No, they weren't because they didn't cover and they were huge favorites. So no, I can't give them a weekend winner. Nor can I give SMU.
I agree. I'm out on SMU after that. You can't be 27-point favorites and have that happen.
I will never bet on SMU again.
Weekend loser, Sabine Parish. No gambling, even though it's in Louisiana. Me and all the boys.
Oh, so one of the 4 parishes?
Yeah. Fired up, getting the phones out. Let's go. What are we playing? Okay, we're going to do the under. We're going to go Georgia Tech plus nothing.
Wait, where is that at?
That's up in Manny, up north Louisiana, northwest, right there on the Texas border, Bo.
Caddo Parish got it, Bo.
That's why they got them swinger trailers and stuff, but you can't bet, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? It's a classic Bible Belt thing. No gambling.
No.
No gambling. But meth and swinging.
Caddo Parish
I don't think there's
has
a
it.
there.
Bossier Parish has it. So don't put that on us. Put that on your spot.
Yeah.
Manny, Louisiana.
Okay, Bible Belt. It's all part of it.
Bible Belt.
Yeah, some parts are, some not. I'm saying, like, politically, these are the areas that have always been super opposed to, the sin stuff, like gambling and whatnot.
Shout out Tajay Spears, man. That really hurts to watch that guy jump over a whole team, when we could have drafted. Remember, we talked about that last week.
I know.
I just can't find Kendra Miller with a search warrant.
And then he has that clip of talking about being heartbroken when the Saints didn't take him.
I know that happened like right after we got off the phone. I was like, damn, that's how I feel.
Kendra Miller not even projected to make the 53-man roster by anybody from New Orleans football.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him once. He's playing Fortnite or something. I don't know what's going on with that guy.
He's playing Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I guess he don't want to play anymore. I don't know.
Dev, what's going on RB&R Day today? Where are we going?
Man, I have no clue, but I don't know if anybody checked out the last week's episode. It was truly one of the most unique episodes of RB&R Day I've ever
I haven't watched it yet. I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah, I went to this little guy's French place, but it was like I walked in and it was like his house. Like, it was really different. You just got to see it, man. It was truly it was something special, in that arena. French restaurant, served it like French courses. Like my first appetizer was 3 grapes, bro.
Wow.
Like it was eye-opening.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. As always, go sub to the YouTube channel. I'm sure Spread Quarters was popping yesterday after the Saints game. It's a great post-game show that Dev does there. htmsports.com/shop for all your merch. Anything else I'm leaving off here, Dev?
No, man, I appreciate y'all. I got Red Bean League shirts online, htmsports.com/shop. So check them out. They definitely, I've sold a lot, so they popular right now.
Hell yes, dude. Go Dim. All right, bro. Well, we'll see you next week. We'll know who the 53-man is, and, I guess we'll know what LSU's all about as well.
Let's go, baby. Go Tigers. Rat that.
Rat that. All right, Dim. When we get back, quarterback tier, let's keep it locked off the bench.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. If you need plumbing, Central Plumbing's the answer. They have been for 50 years, y'all. They can fix anything that you have, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a old house, new house, what the setup is, toilet pipes, anything like that. They got 24/7 emergency service. They got flat rate pricing. Their employees are all licensed, bonded, and insured. And they got great warranty once the work is done, okay? So you are taking care of every single step along the way. Go to centralplumbing.org today. That's centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, when you go to the website, remember it's not only in emergencies now. 30 beers and a fried food platter there on the lake might be calling them. 225-925-8552, but also if you're looking to upgrade, centralplumbing.org.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows.
We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I?
Off the bench.
Hey, remember Community Steel Co. To all your steel needs, go to communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. They're over there in Gonzales, Louisiana. They're open right now. Get in touch with them. This is personal. This is business. This is purlin. This is tubing. This is sheet metal. These are metal buildings. Any steel accessories, all manufactured right there on site, straight from the wholesaler. You get the best prices. You get the best customer service. You get a human, local sales team that gives a damn. You form relationships. CommunitySteelCompany.com. By the way, weekend winners, guys. Oasis is back.
Is that confirmed? I saw allegedly.
If everything holds.
The band?
If
The
everything
Brothers
holds,
are back together?
the brothers are back.
That must have been some extensive therapy.
It's 15 years of them
And
being
it
broken
looks
up.
like at, I don't know what time this would have been. It looks like at 3:30 a.m. our time last night, Liam tweeting, I never did like that word former. So, yeah, we back, baby.
Champagne. Hold on.
Tier list is back. Yeah, give me a little Champagne Supernova or Wonderwall. I don't care.
No, Champagne Supernova is superior song to Wonderwall.
Or that song from Butterfly Effect.
Yeah. No, Champagne Supernova is the best.
All right, so Tier 1 quarterbacks from the Athletic. Tier 1 quarterback carries team each week. This team wins because of him. He has no holes in his game. There are 3 Tier 1s. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes was the only unanimous. Only unanimous Tier 1. All 50 guys chose
3
him.
Tier 1s?
There's only 3 Tier 1s, which is the least amount since 2016.
It's going to be Mahomes, Allen, Burrow.
Yeah. Burrow was in second. These are all going to be in order, by the way. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen are your Tier 1 guys.
No surprise.
No surprise there. I guess maybe, given how pure passing Tier 1 is, I thought Allen maybe would run the risk of being top of Tier 2.
I'm not as I think he's a really dynamic, unique type player, different. But yeah, there's things in as far as throwing the football that I think he still lacks consistently. Still a really good player, but
let me see. By the way, the biggest movers. Well, we can get to that. We can get to maybe some fun facts later. All right, Tier 2. Shoot, lost my notes. Tier 2. This is again a hole or two in the game, but still a very, very good quarterback. These are basically starters that you're probably going to be happy with. Number 1, Lamar Jackson, then Matthew Stafford, then Justin Herbert, then Aaron Rodgers, then C.J. Stroud, then Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, who's actually the biggest mover, jumping up 13 spots, Kirk Cousins, and Jordan Love.
Kirk Thuggins.
Jordan Love rounds out Tier 2. Any problems there? Jake, are you upset that Herbert is behind Jackson and Stafford?
No, I'm not. I mean, Lamar Jackson is really good. Now, there's some things in the playoffs that people, and some of that scheme as well in last year's playoff game. Stafford, he's won the Super Bowl, so it's tough to argue. Stroud's going to be maybe even Tier 1 next year.
Yeah, Stroud will keep. Stroud feels like
actually. I think of this group, Jared Goff probably got the most disrespect.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. A little low there considering, but you know what? That's exactly what Jared Goff wants.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Detroit wants as well.
I'm surprised that there's not a name in here, which I would assume is going to be pretty quick in Tier number 3. Tua Tagovailoa
leads Tier 3.
Okay.
Legitimate starter, but needs a heavier run game and or defensive component to win. Tua right on the edge. I don't know if that's fair for Tua, but maybe it is. Again, I think there's still a lot of room to grow for Tua. Like we've kind of learned the first 2 years, maybe there's a Warren Sharp piece where he goes into, it wasn't just
Warren
Flores. No.
Oh.
He's in Colorado. It wasn't just Brian Flores maybe making it tough on Tua. It was bad everything, like bad receivers, bad everything, right? So Tua could maybe rise, but how do you feel about Dak being where he's at, middle of Tier 2 there?
He'd put him in Tier 6.
I don't hate it. I would put Goff ahead of Dak Prescott, at least recently, what they've done in the playoffs. If this was last year, I would have him over Hurts, but Hurts was bad last year, and I'd have Purdy over him as well. So he's about right where I'd have him. Maybe 2 spots lower. Put Goff and Purdy ahead of him.
Let's
But
see.
That's about it. I think he's right.
So that puts Dak Prescott at 9th in the league. Man, he had 5 games. He has 5 career games of 450 plus yards. Tied with Drew Brees for second most in the NFL history behind Ben Roethlisberger's 8. Okay, then we get into tier 3. Tua, Trevor Lawrence. They're at 15 and 16.
Isn't that wild? Trevor Lawrence, one of the highest paid quarterbacks, top 3 in the NFL, and he's in tier number 3.
He was tier 2 last year.
Yeah.
He dropped. He was one of the he dropped 3 spots and dropped 1 tier. Deshaun Watson at 18. Deshaun Watson used to be tier 1 when this thing was started a few years ago.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield 19, and Derek Carr tied with Geno Smith at 20.
Yay?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Tied with Geno Smith.
For 20th.
I don't like that. Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Geno Smith. Geno had a really good year 2 years ago. Outside of that, Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Geno.
Carr's number 20 ranking
he is.
ties for his worst in 10 tier appearances. His 3.0 average, that's his average that they rank him in 3 tier, is his worst since 2015 when Carr was entering his second season and was on the upswing. Carr's statistics from last season's aligned with Mayfield's. Both led teams to finish 9 and 8, but voters see Carr as a declining player lacking the intangibles they think are strengths for Mayfield. The Saints ranked 9th, and the Bucs were 18th in EPA per play on defense last year. Quote, one executive said, what holds Carr back is a lack of toughness in the pocket and some of his decision-making within the schemes. Yes, these are the NFL experts basically agreeing with everything that Jake tells you about Derek Carr.
And also, like, the intangibles part of it is Baker can thrive a little bit in chaos. Sometimes it gets him in trouble, but he can, and then Carr can't.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the intangible part of it.
So, yeah, one head coach said, we talk about Baker like he's some sort of revitalization story. No, Baker's has taken 2 teams to division titles. Derek Carr was in that same NFC South division with a better defense and, couldn't get it done. Oh, man, one offensive coach said he's a tier 3 without John Gruden. Gruden could carry the mantle, all the leadership, while Carr could just snuggle up under the umbrella of Gruden. He's exposed now. He is the umbrella. It's not comfortable. That takes away from his production. Yeesh, guys. Relax.
This guy's got a family.
And then tier 4, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Bryce Young, Sam Darnold, and Jacoby Brissett. Round it out. There it is.
God, if you're the Panthers and you see Bryce Young down there, tier 4, and you see C.J. Stroud right there firmly in tier 2.
Doesn't feel good.
It's got to hurt.
Does not feel good.
It's got to hurt.
All right, when we get back, let's close out the show here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. But I didn't say roofing and construction, guys, right? Right! I also tell you every day it's the most complete, the most reliable, and the most respected roofing company in the state of Louisiana. Complete is a word that does a lot of heavy lifting, right? Or a word that I should say is pregnant with a lot of substance. Am I making this too complicated?
Yes.
The point is, no matter the size project, commercial or residential, no matter where in the state of Louisiana, even the Gulf South region, no matter what type of roof, and even if you have some sort of interior damage, that's where construction comes in. They do that and then fix roof. That's why I'm saying complete, guys. Okay? So check them out today. Go to ColemanRoof.com. Fill out a free inspection right there on the site, ColemanRoof.com.
Yeah, once you go to the website, you'll see the contact information throughout the state of Louisiana, commercial and certainly residential. They can do it all now commercially throughout the state. Again, check out that contact information on the website, top right corner, ColemanRoof.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Off the bench.
Welcome back, Oasis, and welcome back to Off the Bench. Special people. Talking about Taylor. Taylor, what was your story of the day? You want to do a quick one? We don't even need the imaging for it.
It's depressing for me. Cowboys are going to be without all-pro cornerback Deron Bland for 6 to 8 weeks to start the season. He suffered a stress fracture in his left foot. He's going to have surgery.
Man.
So
Cowboys are cooked.
They're hoping he's going to get back.
A tipped ball interception that he had nothing to do with, and
he caught it. I think he set the record last year too. He must have had a lot of those.
Swear, no, good for him. But like,
damn,
every tip ball that he had, like interception, I felt like it was a tip ball from somebody else. Credit to him. He caught it and ran it the other way.
8 of them, 8 picks, 6 of them returned for touchdowns too. So shout out to my guy Deron Bland.
Yes.
He had 6.
He set the record. Yes.
Oh my God.
But he's out till October 20th. So
yeah, CeeDee Lamb is as well. We got plenty of time. Relax, guys. We got plenty of time. All right, Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Coors Light. Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon Lights, guys. You know what I was drinking at last Frontier Bowl?
I don't.
Cold Coors Light. We got about 3 buckets. You should. I don't know how. I suddenly. I think I was chugging faster than I've ever chugged in my life Saturday. I think I just had to open up my stomach with hush puppies and fried shrimp.
Dude, I do
and some
not.
Fried catfish.
I would not want to be porcelain anywhere in the city of Baton Rouge.
A little etouffee thrown in there. French fries. Ask the Bench. Happy National Hot Dog Day.
This is such a good song.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs. 100%.
I mean, I know you love.
I don't like how you said it like that. I don't like how you said it like that.
Cats suck.
But no, they do not suck.
They do, actually.
They do not suck.
Cats kind of freak me out.
Yeah, I'm also very allergic to
I would
them.
probably go dogs. Thank you. That's a better way of
Cats
saying it.
are too smart for me.
Cats do not
100%.
suck. Y'all suck.
They suck.
You suck.
I'm highly allergic to them as well.
How about y'all figure out hold the mayo, okay? How about y'all get that right?
Was his
before you come after cats.
Bad. How about you don't come after us?
Before you come after cats.
And come after Dev.
How about you don't come after cats?
She's not allergic to cats. She just has to be around them enough, and then she'll develop an immunity.
That's true. That's true. If I was around them more. I bet if I was around them long enough, I probably would develop an immunity to them. But I don't want to be around cats.
Oh, you're allergic.
Yeah.
I mean.
Which.
What?
Again.
So again, your opinion means nothing in this case then.
It means nothing.
No, not if you're allergic to cats. Of course you hate cats.
They are still gross.
Of course they're gross
ugly.
to you. You never cuddled one up and felt them little kitty purrs and rubbed their little ears.
They poop in a box.
Yeah, and they clean it up themselves like adults.
Inside.
Like adults.
You're never going to convince me that cats are great. Ever.
Yeah, well, this is like asking a racist about the civil rights movement.
Okay,
you're allergic.
That's a step too far.
It's true. He's allergic. It can't count.
I mean, everything has to turn into that.
It's a step too far.
Ask the bench. Never mind. That's not even a question. It's that stupid troll account again. Ask the bench. Hester, did you watch the documentary on Greg Maddux last night?
We've actually all been kind of catching clips of it, and we've been talking about it for the last couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
incredible.
Yeah, so the clips that I've seen, I haven't watched the whole thing. The clips that the one that you were talking about popping up the chipper is insanity.
I mean, nobody like Greg Maddux.
That one, the one where he's calling his own pitches, and the Bagwell one are just
so good.
Insane.
Bags. Yeah, just a tiny little squatty stance.
Who did he start his career with?
The Nets.
Who?
I thought maybe like he played for a minor league team. I took a shot.
Red Sox.
Ah, crap.
Off the bench.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.